I can't hear you. What? No, I didn't. Kinda. You know, 20 years of being in the music business will do that to you. Blowing your eardrum, not business. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Friday. Yep. Welcome. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining me once again today. This May 19th of 2023. And again, it's Friday. The week is over. Let's do this, folks. Today, guys, back to the University of Idaho. We are having an open discussion today, folks. So you talk about it, we talk about it, they talk about it, we talk about it all. It's an open discussion all about the University of Idaho situation, guys, and an open panel. One by one, I will have people come up as they choose, and we can talk about things if you would like to do that. That is an option for today. A little Q&A, as you may. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to handling and having all of you guys in here jumping into this with me today. We'll talk about it all and end the week the right way, guys. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. So, once again, let's get this show on the road. What up? What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever it is. I hope it's good for you because it's good for me. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome back. Mr. Kata. Good to have you guys here, guys. Do me a favor, as we all know, on your way in the door, leave some DNA on that like button for me, guys. Hammer that thing, pound it, bang it, whatever you got to do. Make it like me. Good to see you guys so very much. Thank you guys once again for being here today. I do appreciate you so very much. Miss Sylvia gifted a membership. That is awesome, guys. If you do not have your options open to receive gifts, please do that so that you can receive these gifts as they're going out. Plenty of room for members, guys. We have a great group in here. So become a meatball, jump into sauce with the rest of us, guys. It's worth it. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Once again, it gives you the exclusive ability to be in the Discord with all of us. Also, members only, you get to join in on the movie nights and some other options that we have. So check it out at the very least. Let's see. I'm not gonna be able to handle everyone here, but let's see. Miss Heather's in the house. Good to see you. Rhode Island housewife, welcome back. Good to have you here. Miss Fupa Febreze is in the house. Good to see you. Miss Amanda Meow. Veronica Gower. Strike first, strike hard, little brother. Good to see you. Just here for the tea, and so am I. Good to have you here. Nachos, good to see you. Sweet and salty, so great to have you here. Paladin 2004, what's up, brother? Good to have you here. Absolutely, my friend. Carrie Pristula, I think. Good to have you here. Good to see you. Miss Carolyn Oz Miller, welcome back and welcome to the family. Has become a member last night, right at the end of the show. That was great. Miss Emilio, I think. I'm sorry if I'm not saying it right. Welcome. Good to have you. SW Firefly, great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Save me from myself. Miss Sylvia's in the house. Great to see you, my dear. Let me see. Am I missing anybody? GJH, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Texas GG, welcome. Well, I appreciate that. We can get, as far as the membership goes, GG, we'll get you set up for that here in a minute. Miss Heather might be able to tell somebody, or one of the mods can help somebody. Help you with that. I'm sorry. Let's see. Evie Marie, welcome back. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Miss Kim Marin, always a pleasure to have you. Thanks for joining us. Did I get everybody? April Stoll, good to have you, hon. Thanks for joining us. D Smalls in the house. Good to see you. Come on. Sunshine, the sunshine of our life is in the house. So great for having you here, too. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bonnie Bailey, welcome. Good to see you. Good golly, everyone. Miss Molly's in the house. Good to have you here, Molly, dear. Thank you so much for joining us. Is Miss Annie here? Did I see someone say Annie Potts? Heather Fitzgerald's in the house. There she is. Miss Annie's in the house. Thanks for joining us today, Annie. We appreciate you so very much. Heather Fitzgerald, good morning from Ohio to you as well. We got some Ohioans. The Buckeyes are floating around in here. Gotta love it. Guys, do me a favor if you don't mind. Miss Sudi Basics in the house. Do me a favor. If you feel up to it and you want to do it, let's throw out there where we're all coming from, guys. Where you guys tuning in from? I'm just curious. If you don't want to do it, don't worry about it. But just out of curiosity, let's throw that out there. See how many of us are close together and how many of us aren't. T2014, great to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Miss Pamela from over the pond in the UK. Good to see you, Pamela. Thanks for joining us. We got a San Francisco, a Hotlanta, Ontario, Canada, Idaho, Arizona, Lancashire, UK, OC, California. Hell yeah. Arizona's in the house. Georgia, Southern Georgia University. Heck, yuck. Welcome, Leah Story. Good to see you. Of course, Miss Texas Gigi's from down in the heart of hot Texas. Jamie Rosberg, good to see you from Cali. D Smalls is New York City. I'm going to have nightmares after taking my millionth deep dive into... I got you, Sylvia. I got you. I understand it. El Beam, Florida. Daytona Beach, to be exact. That's awesome. Amy D, welcome. High Desert, California. Ooh, I bet that's interesting. We got Michigan in the house. We're neighbors, Evie. We're neighbors. Texas, another Texas. Minnesota. How about that? What's up, Eddie? Good to see ya. Western Washington State. Awesome. East Coast. There you go, Annie. Central Texas. Yeah. Atlanta. Michigan. Go blue. Statesboro, Georgia. All right. Nova Scotia, Canada. What's up, T2014? Poor Miss Molly's all locked in over there in Idaho. 100 people, guys. 100 people with 39 likes. What is going on? Let's go. Hammer that like button, guys. Get me up into that algorithm today. Miss Stacy, welcome. Good to see you. Mandy Joe, welcome. Oregon, now Texas. Gotcha. Home of the Navy SEALs teams. That's right, Carolyn. That's awesome. Eastern Washington State. You guys are great. Yes, Miss Kim, I know exactly where you're from. She gets some serious snow there. Crystal, welcome. Happy Friday to you as well. Yeah. What? Nope. That's a spam. You're not talking to me. Sorry. Come on in, everybody. Grab a seat. Grab your... Are you kidding me? There we go. Grab your coffee, tea, whatever it may be. Come on in here. Sit down. Have a conversation with me if you would. Cora 263. Welcome from the UK. We got a lot of UKers in here, guys, and I love it. I love the UK. Jackie Bushable, welcome. Good to see you. Come on in, everybody. Grab a seat, grab a chair. Plenty of room. Plenty of stuff to talk about. Thank you, Miss Heather. Once again, guys, this channel is 100% crowdfunded, guys. That keeps me coming to you 5, 6, 7 days a week. Whatever it is that I do, I'm out here every day pretty much. But that is how I do it, guys. That pays the bills. This channel is your channel, and therefore it is paid for by you all to keep me coming to you. And I thank you all so very much for that. There's the links for the PayPal, Cash App, and the Venmo. Should you choose to support the channel that way, I do appreciate it. On the other side of things, I do appreciate you guys supporting the channel just for being here. You have no idea how much that means to me, and I do appreciate and love each and every one of you guys for that so very much. All right. Tara Pink, great to see you. Veronica Gower, New Zealand last month and Ireland now. That's a heck of a move. Congratulations and welcome. Cape Cod is awesome. Yes, Sophie. Yes, it is. Our snow in Missouri was very little. Our summer, yeah, I'm worried about that here. We're in kind of a snow belt state in Ohio. We didn't have but one snow, folks. Nothing. We had a bad weak winter. There was no winter. It didn't even really get that cold, to be honest with you. So I'm a little nervous about the summer. Michigan, of course, we know where you're from. Welcome, welcome. Sunshine's another Idahoan. Miss Brandy. What's the matter, Miss Brandy? Why are you yelling at me? Why are you frowning at me? Why are you growling at me? Did I miss something you said? Where are we at? Why are you growling at me? Oh, well, of course, I know that. You're raised in Crap Hole, Ohio, where I'm from, and now lives in Arkansas, or Arkansas, as you should say it. Is that what you were talking about, Brandy? I know where you're at, dear. We had a cold winter in Sweden. Wow. I didn't even know it got cold in Sweden, to be honest with you. I should know that, though. Oh, you sure did have a winter, didn't you, Kim? I want to go to Georgia to see the old architecture. Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous in Georgia. Gorgeous. Nope. Why are you growling, Brandy? What's going on? Shush. I think she's mad. I'm trying to figure out why. Because she can. I know that, Miss Molly. Welcome, Bridget B. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Sooty Basic. No chains, no more. Your guys' names are great. I love them. 1 second, ma'am. And everybody, come on in, get comfortable, find a seat. Again, guys, today is all about open panel, open discussion, and it is just open. Whatever we want to talk about with the University of Idaho, whatever you want to talk about is what we're talking about. Facts. Shauna Dees, Idaho, welcome. Good to have you. Jules of O Trades, welcome, my dear. Good to have you, sis. Did anyone else not realize it was Friday when they woke up? Oh, no, I knew it was Friday. I was looking forward to this day for a while. Miss Nikki, the Wandering Orphan's in the house. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Cammy Q, welcome. Good to have you here. Happy Friday to everybody. Happy weekend. If it means anything, it's here. Oh, yeah. Midnight in the Garden of Evil. Good and Evil. That was great. And the architecture is beautiful. No lie. Good to have you here, Jules. Again, guys, like I said, open discussion, open panel about the University of Idaho situation. That's what we're doing. 132 people, guys, and I got 63 likes. Please hit that like button. Leave some DNA for me. I appreciate that so very much. No chains, no mo. Let's see. Can you go over the grand jury procedure and that grand jury is secret, no open to the public? Yes, it is a secret. There will be nothing about it that you know until after it happens, sadly. And yeah, we can talk about all of that stuff. No chains, no problems. Never mind, it's gone. 16 minutes, 132 people. I'm so proud of the girl. Oh, I am too, Jules. Thank you so much. Judy Covington, thank you so much for joining us today. It's great to have you. I have a specific question. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. And if we can answer it, we will answer it. We got a lot of great people that are in here. A lot of smart people. You know, one of the smartest, in my opinion, Miss Jules is in here. I always love when she's here. Tara Pink, good to see you. Because whatever questions I can't come up with an answer for, a lot of times she'll have it. And if not, Miss Annie Potts is in here. She's very, very good with that kind of stuff too. So we should be able to figure it out one way or another. It's not even a call in, guys. What we can do one at a time is I'll drop a link in the chat and you guys can pop backstage and I'll bring you up and we can talk. All you do is click on that link and you'll be here. That's right. We are very intelligent people. Everyone in here is. Everyone in here is. Yes, I love picking Annie's brain. I love it. I love it. Her and what is it? Don't Dive 509. I love that one. And I just love to hear her voice because she's down there from Louisiana. I love it. Love it. We love you too, Miss Sophie. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Right. We can always Google things. That's true, Sudie. We will make it happen, guys. We will make it happen. Yeah, Miss Annie's awesome. Will the Real Housewife of Rhode Island please stand up? Or New Jersey? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Pupo. It's all because of you guys, and it's all about you guys. So that's a fact. If it wasn't for you guys and my amazingly wonderful moderators, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. That's a fact. Miss Heather, Miss Heather for sure, and Miss Brandy, those two, and Miss Heather, Miss Brandy, and Miss Cece, those three women right there are the reason why I'm sitting here talking to you guys right now. And I'm talking about for real. They have been with me from the very beginning. They have kept my head up. They've kept my positivity going, and I owe them about everything I can think of. And one of these days, I'm going to be able to repay each one of them and each one of the rest of my moderators the way I should. Mama Bear, Miss Molly, you know, they came along a little bit later, but they're all standing together, holding me above water, folks, because I couldn't do this without them. And I am so grateful and so proud to call this and them my family. Absolutely, Leah. There is no judgment in here. This is 100% built for that reason. You have the rights to your opinions, theories, whatever you think and feel. You know, we don't go racism or anything, or, you know, spiritual or politics. We don't do that because that causes problems. But I absolutely agree with you, Jules, on that one. Absolutely agree. No thanks needed, Miss Brandy. I'm just telling the truth. You guys are my ladies for sure. You guys have kept me going. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the three of you, for sure. You three and my wife. I'll be honest with you. There's many a times that I was just done. I'm done. Nope. It didn't happen that way. We got another new member, Clarence the Conqueror. Welcome, bro. Good to have you here. Good to see you. Thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. And it's all because of you guys. Stacy, good to see you. Uh-oh, we got a new one. Miss Bonnie Bailey. Welcome to the sauce, Miss Bonnie. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining it. We got a new meatball in the house, folks. Forget about it. Daisy Dead's in the house. Good to see you, dear. Thanks for joining us. Absolutely. You guys are awesome. I am so very proud to have this community, guys. You have no idea. I really am. This is a great, great, great bunch of people in here, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I love it. You guys are all amazing. Hello, hello, Miss Sherry. Good to see you. The do's are due. Came from Jules. Awesome. Anybody that comes from Jules is family to me. So that's how that works. Like I've always, if you love Jules, you'll like me. There's no lie. We're pretty much male and female versions of each other, in my opinion, at least. We get along very well. We have the same thoughts on a lot of things. I love Jules to death. Yep, pretty much the same way. Pretty much. That's why I've always said to people, I said, if you like Jules, if you love Jules's channel, then you'll definitely like me because we're pretty much the same version of each other. Yep. Yes, ma'am. Whenever you guys are, if you guys are ready, I seen that, Miss Annie. If you're ready, it's coming. And there it is. There's the link in chat. Come on down. You're the first contestant on Dago's Never Right. Just kidding. Yep. We got lots of questions. Miss Annie is so great. It's so great to pick her brain. I'm telling you. Hey, Lance, what's up, brother? Good to see you. What did you say something here? Oh yeah, thank you, Heather. I appreciate that. Yeah, I enjoy doing panels with Jules. Very much so. You a little bit, but that's the way that's supposed to be. You know, we got to do the good cop, bad cop scenario. That's a good question. Miss Willows, welcome by the way, said, did you find Dago or did Dago find you? Awesome. Amanda Meow, good to see you. That's a good point. Did you, whenever you're ready, Annie, the link should be in there. And Brian Hoffman, good to see you, brother. It's been a while. Welcome back. Sentinel's in the house. Good to see you, Miss Liza. Welcome, dear. Good to see you. Was thinking the random knife left around the house to cut drugs. Very possible. Very possible. There's so many possibilities. They are endless. I'm having problems with my new phone. I can see Discord but cannot get into it to respond. You might have to turn the phone off and turn it back on, Kim, or go out of Discord and then go back into it. That name's great, isn't it, Clarence? I loved it when she first put it in. I loved it. Rock Chalk, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Can we go over the Steve? Yes, we're going to actually do that. That's what I want to talk about is my portion of this. So we're going to talk about the interview with Steve Goncalves and kind of analyze that a little bit. If it's the correct, then also something to the effect of all involved. I'm curious on the others involved. Curious on thoughts in chat. Oh, yeah, definitely. Good point, Rock. We're going to be talking about that for sure. For sure. Like I said, everybody's going to put in a little bit. All right. Yeah, no problem, Kim. Everybody's going to put in their part and what they want to talk about with it. Well, that's mine. So you can use my video if you want to play Ashley Banfield's got removed. Cool. Good stuff. Thanks, Jules. Yeah, that was a great video, by the way. You did that. I like that. Really cool. Yanana's in the house. What's up? Good to see you. Maybe no one missed the sheets because it's always at the house. There's a good point there, Miss Willow. Oh my God, there is my ricotta cheese. Brian, that's great. Clarence said you win the internet. Yep, see, Fupa, I told you that name was awesome. You win the internet today with that name. I told you long time ago. Ready, set, Fupa for Rick. I can't even say it. Say it fast 3 times and see what happens. Pink Butterfly, good to see you. Yeah, I know. That's the joys of living in Ohio. One day it could be 90 degrees, the next day it's snowing. You just don't know what you're gonna get. Ready, set, fupa Febreze, ricotta cheese. She's another she's another Italian girl. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Jewels of all trades, true crime, just a mess. All right. Massachusetts. Miss Heather's in the house. Good to see you. Up in our New England states. 174 awesome people tuning in right now. Thank you so very much. Please like and subscribe. Share this out. Your friends, your neighbors, the dog, the cat, the fish, the bird. Wait, there goes the mailman. Tell him about it. How about the ice cream truck? Whatever it is, guys, share it out. And do me a favor, please leave me some comments after the show. I really enjoy reading those. Let me try it again, Annie. I'm going to drop it one more time here. And boom, there goes. It is right below Miss Liza Rowe saying hello, Dago. Yeah, guys, I got 92 likes with 175 people. Let's bring this up here. If we can at least break 100 likes, then we can get out into the algorithm and we'll be flowing like the breeze. Yeah, me and a meow. Thank you so much, No Chains. Welcome back, Janine. Good to see you. It definitely does. It definitely does. That's a very good point, which is why I wanted to talk about it today. That's right. Sicilian. Sicily, baby. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Yes, Miss Sophie, I agree. I do agree. That's why that's my topic to talk about today, and everybody else, whatever it may be. Jesus Christ, I have risen. Interesting. Interesting. Welcome, whoever you are. Dago, it's interesting you said mailman. Did Moscow police ever consider that in the case? I don't know. That's a good point, Miss Carolyn. Very good point. There we go. We're up over 100. Thank you guys so very much. 109 likes. Thank you, Liza. Now we're flowing. That's right. Good to see you. To my name twin. That's right. We got 2 Heathers now. Actually, 3 if my sister pops in here. Willow said, Jesus, you're a little early. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Oh, there you go. There's an answer, kind of, Carolyn. Carolyn, well, they do have warrants for the UPS cameras, so I guess in a way they kind of did. That's great. And of course, you know, Jules, you're always welcome to jump up here on this panel today if you have the time. I know you do this in between working. Jules is a busy lady, folks. She works, she does this, and she raises her children all by herself. You got to give a round of applause for that one. I mean, seriously, come on now. That is why I have so much respect for her. And she does everything good, too. You can't do that. Not everybody can do that. I like twice once here and on my sassy stuff. Thank you so much, Sassy or Fupa. Don't get me calling you Sassy again, because that was my favorite name. What is up, Jeff? Good to see you. Hey, Jesus, did you ever? Jeff. Really, dude? That was good. Brian's judgment day is coming. Well, we shall see. If the man is found guilty, then I sure hope so. Don't forget, everybody, as I've been saying, innocent until proven guilty. Who is that calling my phone now? Let me see. Annie. One second, everybody. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hi, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Who am I speaking with?
This is Annie. How you doing?
I'm doing. The link wasn't working for you, huh?
No, it's so weird. It keeps bringing me to your already ended stream.
Really?
I think from yesterday. Yeah, I even tried to close it out and close all my tabs and then
Let me try. Let me.
No. Okay, that I called.
Yo, it's absolutely if that's what you had to do. That worries me because I want to make sure that this is working. That's weird. Um,
is weird. And I noticed like nobody else was getting on too, so I didn't know if it was just me.
well,
or
I'm
if
doing
anybody
them.
else
I'm kind of doing like,
was.
yeah, I'm doing like 1 to 2 at a time. Heather said that they can barely hear you guys, or they can barely hear you. Do me a favor though, since I reset this, try clicking the link again, Annie. I just dropped it in the chat and see if it works that time. If not, it's fine that you called in. I don't mind. I just want to make sure it is working for the future here. It shouldn't take you to.
Okay, cool.
It shouldn't take you to yesterday. That's definitely weird because we're in today.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, I wonder if maybe that's why nobody else is popping on either.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely want to make sure it's working. So let's see.
Did anybody else in the chat try getting on?
Not that I know of.
Was it working?
Not that I know of yet. Bubbly Waters, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Somebody else. Bama Skin's in the house. Good to. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go.
Oh, okay. Let me end this call. You
Okay.
can hang up on me.
Yes, ma'am. Bye bye. All right. Can you hear me? There she goes. Can you hear me okay?
All right. I think we're good now. You can hear me okay?
I hear you beautifully. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
saying,
I got my volume
saying,
up. I took my Bluetooth out too. I know it sounds like I'm in a tunnel when I have my Bluetooth in.
You sound really good right now. Okay. All right.
Okay,
How about
so
me?
I don't want to take up too much time because I'm heading back out to work in a few minutes, but
Absolutely.
so I just kind of wanted to pick everybody's brain. I happened to come across a Fox News article, and do you care if I say another channel's name?
No, ma'am. I have no qualms with that whatsoever.
Okay, so one of my favorite dudes is Subconscious Mouth.
Oh yeah, I love him too.
I love him. So
Yes.
I caught a video that I didn't even know he posted. It's from like 3 or 4 days ago. Where he's talking about, gosh, I don't even remember like the name of the video or the thumbnail, but it's from like 3 days ago. He's going over a Fox News article from a gentleman, and his name escapes me, but I wrote it down. It's like a Keith or a Kevin or something. So this gentleman apparently is the landlord for a 6-man house right on Linda Lane. And in this interview with Fox News, he told Fox News that he has a video surveillance system that is like perched along the top of his home, and it overlooks like basically the entirety of like the King Road area. And according to this gentleman, he turned over all of his video surveillance footage to Moscow Police Department from 2 a.m. until noon. And he said that he downloaded it and turned it over to them. So I'm guessing he probably still had the original for himself, but he downloaded it, gave it to Moscow Police Department, and he said that the white/light colored sedan is seen pulling into the area about 2:45 a.m. and leaving at 3:15. And this was from like November 14th, November 15th. So this is just like very fresh, right after everything happened. And this was, I think, even before they changed the timeline to the 4 to 4:20 a.m. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. When everybody has time, they can go watch the video, read the article for themselves, look for the article yourself if you want to verify it. But I was like, wait a minute, holy shit. So right at the very beginning, we have someone saying that this white light colored sedan is seen pulling into the area at 2:45 and leaving at 3:15.
Well, isn't that interesting? Because Miss Sleuthy Goosey was talking about that timeline too. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. We've all, I think there's a lot of us who, because we were originally told by Moscow Police Department. They believe the crime occurred around 3 a.m. And then that all changed by like the, first, second, third press conference. Everything kind of got switched around. But I figured, hey, I'm going to throw it out there and see what everybody thinks, and they can go verify it for themselves. But I thought it was very interesting because now that's yet another confirmation to me of the original timeline being the accurate one.
That's right. Let me see here. Do you remember what day that was from?
So I believe the article is from November 15th, if I remember correctly.
Well, the video he did, was it from 3 weeks ago where he was talking about the
No.
person?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's from 3 days ago.
3 days ago for Subconscious Mouth. I'm looking for it right now.
I just can't remember the title of the video.
There's one that says Idaho 4 nude person in the white Elantra. That's probably not it. That's 3 weeks ago.
No, it's from 3 days ago.
I don't see anything newer than that, truthfully, unless it's short.
And I only remember it said 3 days ago when I saw the video because I was actually surprised that I missed one of his videos. And I was like, 3 days ago? Yeah. How did I miss this?
Wait a minute. When did you see this, Annie?
I'm sorry?
When did you actually see this video, you said?
I just watched the video this morning or last night. It was either last night or this morning.
So does it have a picture of Brian Kober with a couple cops on it and like the university is in the background, it shows?
Might be. Yep, it might be that one.
All right. That's something we can definitely check out.
I even put a comment on the video saying that's interesting because this neighbor's saying 2:45 to 3:15 a.m. and we were told 4 to 4:20.
Yeah.
So if you see my comment on that video, that's the one.
I'm looking right now. Let me see. You just kind of woke me up a little bit with that, Annie. I'll be honest with you.
Hey, listen, I'm not even shitting you. When I saw it, I was like, whoa, I had to rewind, go back. Yep. And then I read the article myself and like took a screenshot because he was showing the article in his video. Yep, and then, I did my own due diligence, obviously made sure it's an actual Fox News article, and it is.
Okay. You said the neighbor on Linda Lane says the white and light colored car spotted between 2:45 to 3:15 on his video surveillance he turned over to MPD, right? 3 hours ago?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I'm about to pull it up and we're gonna review this real quick as part of what we're doing today.
Honestly, I was like, well, okay then. So okay. To me, it was just kind of like another confirmation. Oh, okay. So maybe that 3 a.m. timeline, the original one, is the accurate one.
That's a very interesting piece of
information. Which, if that is the case, that's going to present a lot of problems, considering Brian was supposedly still making 3-point turns at 4:04 a.m. So,
well, and that goes back also to Jules saying, and a couple other people saying that they can't make this make sense because based on what they figured out while this was going on, he was still in the car driving. So let's figure that out. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got it right here.
I just thought that, hey, there you go. So you found the video. I'm going to hop off, head to work. I'll still be listening, but I'm heading to work and stuff. So hopefully that perked everybody's attention and maybe more people will look into that.
Yeah. And I love Subconscious too. He's really, really good. I like Steve and Danny have had him on Publicly Buzzed a couple times. He's really good at what he does. So I his outlook.
That dude. Yeah, I love Subconscious Mouth so much. I love the way his brain works. I love the way he thinks. The way he talks, like his accent, everything about that dude. I'm like, oh, we got one here. He should have, 100,000 subs. It's amazing to me he doesn't.
Oh yeah, 100%. I absolutely agree. I'd love to have him come on here with me. I was trying to actually think about getting a hold of him because I'm supposed to go on the show with Dan and Steve next Friday on their show, and I'd like to get a hold of Sub and see if he'd be interested in jumping on here with us. They said
Oh,
that
that would
he's
be
very,
awesome.
yeah, they said he's very open to doing that. So I'm gonna get in touch with him and see what I'd like to pick his brain too and have him jump up here with us one night and just go to town. So I think I'm gonna
Oh,
do
well,
that.
I hope everybody enjoys the video, and I hope everybody has a great day. Have an awesome weekend.
You too, Annie. Thank you so much for jumping up here, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye bye. All right, guys, here we go. We're gonna check this out and see what is going on. This is interesting to say the very least, and that's why I like doing this open discussion, open panel, because we can pretty much throw a little bit of whatever we want out here and see what we got going. Make sure you got your pen and paper ready, Miss Jules. The video was correct when the comps was in the field with the boys was the exact same time. Miss Molly email. I got your email, hun. If that video is correct, then when the comps were at the field with the boys was the exact same time. It's logged at 3:01 a.m. on that night. That's the band field. That's real interesting. Let me see what we can do here, folks. Let's find this. Again, guys, this content we're reviewing care of Mr. Subconscious Mouth. If you haven't checked him out, please do. This guy is great. I have a lot of respect for him. Seriously. You will not be disappointed, no lie. Here we go. Let's see what Sub has to say. Oh, okay. Again, guys, let me know about the audio.
I'm talking about the following morning after the crimes that took place at 1122 King Road with the 4 college students being killed in the middle of the night. And the reason why I'm asking this question, if you've been keeping up what's going on in relation to this crime in the true crime community, you may be now familiar with somebody named Dave, right? If you're not familiar with the person named Dave, in the true crime community, there are some content creators who's been contacted by someone who's going by the alias Dave, and this person is said to be a someone who attended the University of Idaho where these crimes took place, and also this person is given firsthand information about some things in relation to the crime. This person is saying that he was part of the group text that everybody got ahead of time before 911 was called, as far as people discussing exactly what happened at the home. When I say the home, I'm referring to the 1122 King Road home where these 4 college students were stabbed to death in the middle of the night. He's going into detail as far as drugs being involved. He even admitted to dabbling in drugs himself. He admitted to knowing certain people who were dealing drugs, certain people who was doing drugs, certain people who was, into drugs. And he even went as far as to say that, there was some drug activity in the 1122 King Road residence. But see, what I want to talk about, and I haven't heard him say this himself, but one of the content creators who he contacted did say that Dave told him this, and this is what I want to talk about. If you're familiar with the case, early on there was some body cam footage that came out where some officers questioned and stopped, and I believe they even may have summoned some teenagers who were drunk in public. This took place on Idaho University campus on a place called Band Field. Let's take a quick look at it. Yeah, see, this is the field where Brian Kohlberger was said, and we're gonna get into this. This is the field where Brian Kohlberger was said to be spotted. According, Dave said that those three teenagers who was in his body cam footage, Dave said he was told by one of them that the next morning, between I think it was between 9 and 9:30, Brian Kohlberger was spotted in the field by one of them, right? This is what's being said. And let's really talk about this.
Yes, Molly, I did.
Let's really get into it. Let's really get into this. It's being said that when the cops were coming, when the three young men was in this field, they got rid of some stuff that they had, right? They dropped it off, and I guess they didn't want the police to search them and see that they had something or whatever, so they dropped it in that field. And then this situation took place, and the police left, they left, and then everything was everything. But it's being said by Dave that one of the guys told them the next morning they came back to look for the stuff that they discarded, and they saw an individual. And according to Dave, the individual that they described to Dave was somebody who had thick eyebrows, high cheekbones, a big nose, basically saying that they believe that it was Brian Kohlberger. And it was also said that they said that this guy had like an eeriness about him, had like a cold stare or something of that nature, right? Now, the time frame that Dave said he was given by one of the people who was in the field, it lines up with what the unsealed search warrant says about Brian Kohlberger coming around the next morning, right? So on the surface, it sounds like this story may be credible that Brian Kohlberger was in the area the next morning. Now, the PCA, like I said, it states that Brian Kohlberger supposedly came around the following morning after the crimes between the times of, don't know if it specifically say between the times of 9 to 9:30, but within that time range. But let's talk about that, right? If you have the PCA saying a certain time and you have another person who was potentially an eyewitness, possibly placing Brian Kohlberger there at the same time, it can sound like, okay, maybe Brian Kohlberger was really there. But this is what I want to see. When law enforcement talk about Brian Kohlberger showing up the next morning, they talk about it in relation to using cell phone pings to track where he was at a certain time and then where he ended up at a certain time, right? But see, this is the thing right here. If you say you have body cam footage, if you say you have house cam footage of his vehicle just a few hours earlier, because they say the crimes took place at 4 a.m. They say he came back at 9 a.m, right? So this is just like a 5-hour time window. If you can have his vehicle, supposedly, because this is what they say, they have his vehicle in the area of the residence and say he drove to the residence and, supposedly, was responsible for doing these crimes. If you have his vehicle in the area when the crimes took place on house cam, why can't you have him showing back up to the area on house cam, right? See, but you say cell phone pings, that's a radius. And like I said in other videos, they already said in their own paperwork that it pinged that Kohlberger was in the area before and he actually wasn't, right? So, you have the question how reliable the cell phone pings is as far as like a precise location anyway, because it pinged that he was in Idaho when he was in Washington. And like I said in other videos, they only stay 10 miles away from each other. Their schools is only like 7 miles away from each other. They say there's better shopping in Moscow. People who live in Pullman, which where Brian Kohlberger lived, go to Moscow to shop sometime. They got better shopping. So you can ping in that area if you already live in close proximity, and you may go over there from time to time anyway, right? But this is my thing. Why are we using pings to say whether he came back or not when you should have it on house cam footage, because you say you have the house cam footage of him being there 5 hours earlier? And even if you say, well, he was just in the area, the guy
we can all see you, Brian.
On Banfield.
You're good, bro.
Okay, let's look at.
You're not blocked. You're fine.
Okay, now let's read this. It says the owner of a property near the home where 4 University of Idaho students were slaughtered last month told Fox News Digital he turned over surveillance video showing a white car passing by around the time of the murders. Detectives reached out to the landlord, Kane Franchtick, November 14th, and asked for surveillance footage recorded from a camera perched on top of 6-unit rental building on Linda Lane, which is miles from the murder scene. I downloaded it and gave them access to everything from 2 a.m. through noon on that Saturday. Okay, Frantic's rental building and its camera sit on a hill facing Taylor Road, the main street that connects 1122 King Road to Highway 95, the route that the killer may have taken upon fleeing. The car, which Frantic described as both white and light colored, traveled west on Taylor Road sometime between 2:45 a.m. and 3:15 a.m. He said only a side view of the vehicle is visible from the footage. Now, that place where Kohlberger was said to be the next morning, Banfield, it's on Taylor Avenue, right? So if somebody can give the police footage of a vehicle traveling on Taylor Avenue just 5 or 6 hours before the murder, supposedly 5, 6, 7 hours prior to the murders taking place, and you say that same person showed up 4, 5, 6, 7 hours later, and now it's being said to be on Banfield on Taylor Avenue, you should be able to show his vehicle on Taylor Avenue again. It's only a 5-hour span.
I believe so, Jules.
You wouldn't have to use cell phone pings. You can literally have the person, like you say, you have the person 5 hours earlier in the same area. Now, some people might say, well, maybe he didn't show up in his vehicle the next morning. But see, this is what I was thinking in relation to that. First of all, how did he get there, right? We would assume that he didn't walk that fast, right? So you would say, well, maybe somebody else brought him. So now this is what will have to happen, right? If Brian Kohlberger showed up the next day with somebody, you know, he got to have a reason to tell him, yeah, I need you to bring me here. I need you to do. They can't just drop him off because they say he got back, right? They say they had a short time window. He was here for this time. He was here for this time, and he was, you know, he went back to wherever he was, you know, he came from. And you can't make that. You can't walk from that location back to Brian Kohlberger's house. You can't do that. You can't do that on foot in that time span. You have to have, you know, you will have to have a vehicle. Sounds like to me, right? So if he showed up in his own vehicle, it should be on camera as well. If somebody else brought him, and police are saying that this is because law enforcement is saying they believe he's a lone suspect, right? Why would they break? I mean, did he tell them what he did? You know, I wanted to go around and peep out a scene. You know, I was there last night. Did he confess to this person and they agreed to bring him back around there or something? And if you wanted to do this, why would you let somebody in on it, which we just done? All right. If that was the case, why wouldn't that person, once Brian Kohlberger got arrested, and say, oh, you know what? He actually told me, he actually had me bring him around here one day after the scene of the crime. And, you know, I thought it.
So I'm going to venture to say that this info is part of the 52 terabytes of digital info that they're looking at, video per se. I would venture to say I would pay top dollar to see this right now. I really would, guys. I'll be honest with you. Sorry for interrupting.
It was strange that he asked me to stop here and do this. He didn't want to say, even if Brian Kohlberger didn't say why I want you to bring me around here, but he just asked somebody to bring him around there, directing them to go to certain spots. That, you know, once Brian Kohlberger get arrested for this, that person, if they wasn't in on it and Brian Kohlberger didn't tell him anything about it, you know, will have the presence of mind. That's why he wanted me to bring him around there.
And here's the thing, guys, and change your right on point, because we found that one vehicle that was by the Banfield that night was silver. Okay. It was completely silver. We talked about that in here. Some of you guys probably weren't in here at that time, but we did, and pointed out that car is silver. At night, under those lights, it looks white. So the man said white or light colored. Bingo. That almost makes you wonder at this point. Yeah, Janet was on TikTok at 4:12 a.m. based on what they said. The car could be silver beige, light gray, clay, gray, pearl white, off-white, anything other than dark colors 100%, and it'll look white because you don't know. You don't know. I can't remember. Somebody sent me a DM 3-4 months ago showing me a tan colored or beige colored Elantra that was 3 or 4 blocks away from that road. At this point, you cannot pinpoint the white Elantra at this point. You know what I mean? Welcome, Cricket. Good to see you. I believe that was their court date, Cricket, but we'll have to check it out for sure. TikTok runs on a loop. Anyway, sorry to keep stopping this, guys. It's just I gotta say something when I think it.
This and that, that's and so. And if somebody had you bringing them around the scene of a crime unbeknownst to you, and you find out this person is guilty of something this heinous, great chance you gonna go to the police if you're not in on it, right? You had nothing to do with it. You would say, yeah. Furthermore, he brought me around here. This is further proof that he has something to do with it, right? But none of that took.
That's my suspicion. Just for the tea, it sure does seem that way. That was the car that the guy got into when he was running their IDs and doing this and doing that. So what's that all about then? You see what I'm saying? Welcome, OCD, by the way. I don't. What do you think about that, Jules? That silver car that was sitting by the Banfield, that belonged to one of the police officers that was running, or whatever they were, that was running the guys' IDs and stuff like that night at the Banfield. I wonder. Law enforcement initially state 3 a.m. time of crime. Correct. Video surveillance shows similar timeline, Banfield body cam, similar timeline, yet all appear to be ignored and timeline changed to focus on a later timeline. Very good point, Annie. And why is that, folks? Why is that? That's kind of interesting, to say the very least. I'm just saying. We need to look at that. We need to think about that. They were university cops, not regular Moscow police. Okay. Well, see, here's the thing, though. If you look into that, don't dive. According to Moscow police themselves, they claim that they are campus police, Moscow PD. That there is no campus police per se. That it's Moscow PD. So, I don't know. That's what I'm saying, Jules. That is exactly what I'm saying. Thank you, Miss Brandy. I appreciate that again, guys. This channel is 100% crowdfunded. Anybody that would like to support the channel to keep me coming to you guys, please feel free. There's the links for Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App. And I thank you all so very much for anybody that has donated to support us. Yeah, the photos of Carolyn, I don't know about those pictures. I'm a little unnerved about those, and I don't really want to trust that. They're very hard to see, first of all, I'm not saying that she had it, that they weren't real, but whoever gave them to her, they're just kind of, I'm shifty about those, is all I'm saying. Absolutely, Brian. Heather says the university police officers are real officers. They're not security officers. Correct. That's what I was saying based on what Moscow said. They are campus police. There is no specialty security or anything like that they don't have that there. Why were they covering some? It's a good point. Don't dive. It seemed as if they were doing that they kept covering. I don't know if that was done on purpose, though, at this point. Maybe it was. It seems like at certain points they were hiding the body cam with their hands and whatnot. You can look at it that way for sure. Becky, welcome, Becky, by the way. Looking for an Elantra in that town is like looking for a Volkswagen with flowers on it. Yeah, exactly. I got you. That's it right there, Jules. Those photos were heavily edited, and it's hard to see anything that she was saying she was seeing in those photos. I agree with that. It's very hard, even if you stand back from them. I tried to look at them and clear them up a little bit. You can't. You really can't. They are so bad. Anyway, I'll quit talking so we can get through the rest of this.
Please. Now, let's go back to Idaho Dave, so to speak, right? I'm not trying to say that Dave is lying about what he said, right? I'm not, I don't have an opinion about that yet. I would like to hear, more information. But this is what I will say. If you listen to, he just did an interview yesterday on one of the content creators' channel. A lot of the stuff that Dave said was some first-hand stuff. He was saying, I was around Emma Bailey. I'm familiar with D. I have, scored drugs from this person. Drugs, this is some first, the thing that thus far that I've heard from, not necessarily from Dave, but from one of the content creators who talked about what Dave told them. One thing that I heard that's not firsthand is this information that's placing Brian on Banfield the next morning, right? Because Dave is even saying he heard that from somebody else.
Thank you so much, OCD.
See, this is the thing thus far that's not firsthand. And this is the thing that really needs to be scrutinized a little more, because it can easily sound so credible, right? Because like I said, because of the PCA saying something and then somebody else co-signing the PCA. But like I said, if you watch my videos, there are a lot of gaping holes, a lot of loose ends, and a lot of inconsistencies in what police have put out in relation to the evidence. And so if they can't if they will have to show why they can't produce the video of Brian Koberger coming back around there at 9 something the next morning, but you're able to produce the video of him being there 5 hours earlier.
That's
if they can't produce that,
that's right.
You really need to ask some serious questions.
That's a great point.
Maybe they can give a legitimate answer, or maybe they can't. But it seems like you should be able to produce it, right? And if they can't, are you just going to go by them saying, oh, it pinged him in the area? What does that mean?
Thank you so
What's
much.
What's the range of the cell phone?
It's great to have you here.
What does that really mean? And like I say, they already debunked their own cell phone pinging evidence anyway, by saying pinged him in the area when he wasn't even in the same state. Now, as far as one of the young men that Dave said told him that he believed that it was possibly Brian Koberger on Banfield that next morning, because they said, how he went back to the scene on Banfield to collect some of the stuff that he supposedly discarded when the cops stopped him that night, right? I'm not even saying that person is lying or telling the truth, right? Because this is not Dave information. This is that guy's information. I'm not saying that he's lying or telling the truth. I don't know if he saw somebody or not, right? It's possible that he could have seen somebody, right? And then once this came out months later, about a month later, because this had to take place the next morning was the 13th. Brian Koberger got arrested like a month and a half later, right? So if he did see somebody, he could have saw a person or two, or multiple people, or whatever.
Welcome to the family, Unravel.
His recollection of the person might not necessarily be as clear, especially if you don't think right now that morning Brian Koberger wouldn't be on nobody's radar, right? As a matter of fact, that next morning nobody would be on nobody's radar, because he was saying to go back to that field at like 9 in the morning. Dave said the text and all that started circulating.
Congrats, Mojo. Thanks for joining us. Thanks so much. Welcome to the family.
So around that time with the guy who told Dave that he went to Banfield.
Welcome, Lupo. To collect some stuff. Welcome to the family. Congrats.
Nobody's probably, I don't know if at that time anybody has anything on their radar that anything even happened yet. Possibility, because if these things took place at 4 in the morning, the word could have got out earlier than Dave got the information. He could have got the information a little later on. Who knows? But if you go on Banfield just to collect your
Welcome,
stuff
Tiffany.
with nothing or nobody on your radar, and then a month and a half later, you see somebody arrested for a particular crime in that area, your recollection of who was on the field, if anybody was on the field, might not be as sharp. And you may be eager to try to understand and find out what's
Thanks,
going on.
Mojo. I appreciate you, brother.
Your memory can maybe be a little jotted or a little jaded. Or if Kohlberger really was out there, then he's on to
If
something.
you're a brother,
But the question is,
hopefully you
was
are.
Kohlberger really out there? And the number one thing people is going to go to is the PCA, it's the unsealed search warrant saying that he arrived back there, but you need to find out are you able to show footage that he was out there? Because you was able to show footage supposedly that he was there 5 hours earlier. And if not, like I said, questions are to be asked.
Unbelievable. Sorry about that. Of course, I always do that. Anyway, guys, again, thank you, Subconscious Mouse, for putting that out there. That's great, folks. If you haven't showed the love, go over there to Subconscious Mouse, subscribe to him. You will not be disappointed, guys. He is great. And again, welcome to all the new members. Thank you guys so much for joining. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the sauce, guys. Some new meatballs in the house. It's good to have you here. Now, I want to look at something else real quick now. Now that we've seen that has me curious about something. One moment, folks. Sorry about the muting thing, guys. There's the link for Subconscious. Watched Son of Sam rerun. Cool mains. Oh, good deal, Mojo. Good. I'm glad that you got to see it. I appreciate that. Okay. 1 minute.
One, two, three.
We're actually going to look at a couple things. Hold on a minute here. That being talked about made me think about something. All right. Let's check this out.
Four, almost as though they're walking in single file. Out at night, at 3 o'clock in the morning, actually closer to 3:12 in the morning. And as you watch those four figures, remember, police say the murders happened between 3 and 4 in the morning. Did those people see something?
Did the static stop? I'm sorry.
Who are they? Have police track them down, ask them any questions, ruled them out. And again, if they're ruled out, did they see something as they were on foot, walking just steps away from where the murders happened? We do not have the answers to this, any of it. But as usual, our senior national correspondent, Brian Enton, is live on
is banned field. This is where the alcohol call came in. The young men were here in the field when the police first showed us right there. So the police walked those young men across the street. This is Taylor Avenue, right to this spot right here. I was able to identify it because of the fire extinguisher. And they were standing in this spot, the young men, and the body camera video was pointed this way. And it is over my shoulder where you could see very faintly what looked like several people walking faster, almost running by in the background. And I want to walk you over, Ashley, and give you a little more perspective. It was somewhere in this area right here. And we can tell because we analyzed these lights of this little apartment building. It was somewhere right in this area. There's another big apartment building here. The question you might be having is, how close is this to the house where the murders happened? Mo is gonna point in that direction. Our producer is up there. She's gonna flash a flashlight, Ashley. You see that flashlight flashing right there?
Okay, everybody, here's the thing. I had gotten some info, okay, telling me, I've talked about my little theories and different things like that. And somebody had said, when I was talking about this, remember I had said, you know, I think maybe they were in the kitchen hanging out, a fight ensued. There was 3 or 4 people or more, I was told, that took off and ran away when this fight happened that were at the house as well. It almost makes me wonder if that was that group of people right there, because it would be coming from that direction running by. If that's true, okay? If that's true, this is all 100% alleged, folks. We don't know. Yeah, that's fine, Annie. It is interesting. So very interesting, Jules. That's why I want to see this, as well as that car.
That is right in front of the house where the murders happened. So it's all very, very close.
So what we're effectively seeing is, like, if my eyes don't deceive me, about 200 yards away from where Mo was flashing the light at the murder scene, those 4 figures were walking where you're standing. It's that close.
It's that close, and it appears, again, it's so hard to see it in that body camera video, but when we zoom in, it does appear that the figures are walking / running from the direction of where the house is where the murders happened. At first, I thought they were just walking down Taylor Avenue, but when I got out here and really looked at everything, it appears they might actually be coming somewhat from the direction of the house.
And then just point to what direction they're headed. From what I'm looking at you straight on, just point the direction they were headed.
Okay, let me show you again. So up there on the hill, that's where the flashlight is flashing. That is where the house is, where the murders happened. It appears they were coming from that direction, and that they were going this way, back towards Bandfield, back towards the Sigma Chi house, where the police were.
First of all, welcome, Texas girl, or Texas Gigi, I'm sorry. Another member. Awesome. Thank you. Now, you guys remember when we saw that Banfield footage, everybody said, why aren't they talking to those guys running by? Why didn't they stop those guys? They have these guys stopped, and you know they had to see them. Why didn't they stop them and talk to them? Why didn't they call them back? What's that all about? I mean, seriously? Everybody has said that from the beginning of the first time we saw that. I'm just saying, guys, at this point, and again, congrats and thank you so much, Texas GG.
And then sometimes I just want to make sure our audience is clear. It sure sounds like you're saying Banfield, like the name of the show or my last name. It is BAND, right, as though it's a school band, and that is their field. It is the school band's field. So, but what I'm really curious is when you showed me Mo or Lauren flashing the light up at the murder scene, it looked like that's the walkway that you have shown us that leads down from the house. So is it feasible that those 4 people were coming down that walkway?
It's possible. And you know, I can't tell for sure. It's impossible to know for sure. Were they coming from that direction? Were they sort of walking along Taylor Avenue and it just appeared they were walking that way? We don't know. I can tell you from being out here for weeks, especially when there were more students here, this is a very busy area. You've got the frat and sorority houses. You've got a ton of apartments right here. So, you know, it doesn't mean that they're involved. I mean, and even at 3 a.m., I mean, there was the drunk kids in the field. There's all sorts of partiers walking around. I mean, you know, the likelihood is these were just some college students walking around in this area. But what do they know? Did they see something?
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your...
What did they hear? What did they see? Where were they at? Where did they just come from? That's the biggest thing right there. Where did they just come from that house? Were they there and this thing started to go down and they took off running because they didn't want to be there? Were they there and this group of people come walking in the house with an attitude and they said, I'm out? They didn't want to be involved. I mean, if we remember what WSU Kim said, it started as a shakedown. Do we remember that? Well, let's see here. If this group came in and we're going to perform this shakedown and these other people that were there partying are trying to, I don't want this. I don't want to be in this. And they took off. I want to talk to every one of them is what I'd want to do. Every single one of them should come forward and say, Here we are. No, I didn't see it. Yes, I saw any of that. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. The three boys were filming it. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Miss Carolyn. Now, backwards. 1 second. Something else I wanted to see. Thank you so much, Texas GG. One second, guys. Bear with me. I'm a little slow sometimes. Okay, hold on. Congrats to all the new family members. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you, and thank you once again for sharing that and giving out those memberships. I appreciate that so very much. Okay, this is the car that I'm talking about, folks. That is silver. Okay.
Hey guys, Moscow PD. Come over here, talk to me.
Here we go. Hold on.
Moscow PD. Hey, is that beer?
What's up?
Is that beer in your hand?
Yeah, I'm 21.
You got your ID on you?
I don't.
Okay.
I'll take it back to my apartment if you need.
By the way, this is Mr. Lake Campbell, folks. Okay, just so you know.
Okay.
Sorry.
Huh? No, they just took off. I told them to stop, but I'm not going to push it.
Wait a minute. Let me correct that. I may be wrong. There's the car right there. I think that is Lake Campbell. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Misinformation. I don't mean to give that. I'm pretty sure that's who that is based on what I've been researching with that before. So I'm pretty sure that's Saeed. I'm sorry. You're right, Daisy. I had that backwards. My apologies, folks. My apologies. That is Saeed. I was thinking about something I was looking at and putting the two together. So my apologies. Whoever he is, he's got the brows. The infamous brows. You are correct. Sorry about that, folks. That's not Lake. That is Saeed. My apologies once again. I got too much shit running through my head, folks. You know how that goes. I hope the defense issues a subpoena for both of these MPD cops. Yeah, 100%, Julie. Or not Julie. That jumped fast. Annie. Yes, 100%. I absolutely agree. I'm just saying. Yes, don't dive. I agree. Yes, Saeed, guys. Saeed. Again, my apologies for that. I don't know what I was thinking of two different things at one time. Okay.
Hey, Moscow, please.
Yeah, you got your ID on you?
I don't.
Okay. I'm going to grab your info just because you got beer and you're walking around with it.
No, it's closed.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I live like right there. I'll take it back if you need.
No, we're just doing alcohol enforcement and running around with beer across the street.
No worries. Sorry about that.
You're good. What's your last name? Date of birth.
2001. Like one.
How'd you pull that one off? That's an awesome birthday.
Yeah, lucky birthday.
You got a driver's license?
I don't have it.
What? No, in general.
I do have one, yeah.
What state is it through?
Idaho.
Idaho. Okay. So I'm just gonna check if everything's good. Since they're not open, I'll let you hang on to them.
Okay. So will I get charged with anything?
No,
or?
no.
Okay. Appreciate
But
it.
it's just enough for me to stop, check, make sure you're 21,
worries.
walking
Yeah,
out
I
here in
get it.
public.
Sorry.
Moscow 77, check one with that.
Am I gonna take off? Or?
No, let me run this through dispatch, make sure you're actually 21 and give me a fake birthday or anything. 2001, North Idaho.
What's the thing about that?
Well, yeah.
I won't lie to you. That's funny.
Yeah, I think that's the first one I've seen.
Yeah.
One. So if that comes back good, yeah, you're free to go. Are these your boys?
No, I don't know them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just hang on one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, wait till dispatch comes back and says you're
All right,
good.
no worries.
You guys taking off on me?
I didn't hear you.
Yeah,
I'm
we
sorry
thought you were
about that.
talking.
You all three turned around. I put my flashlight. You said, "Hey, come here." You guys all turned around and walked away.
I thought it was just like a fake person. Honestly. Yeah, like
How many fake people are out here that you've experienced?
Something trying to fuck us.
Okay, that's fair.
You know, I thought about this before, but that comment that was made right there, I thought about this before when I heard that. That's kind of interesting how he said that. Thought maybe it was just a fake person pretending to be a cop. Okay, why would somebody say that? Don't you think that's a bit weird? Seriously? Makes you wonder if that's happened before and how many times. If there's somebody that has impersonated police officers. Kind of weird, guys. Think about it.
Yeah, God.
How's your night going?
I'm pretty good.
That's good.
Just trying to stay warm.
Is that y'all's car right there?
Yeah.
Undercover.
Well, just trying to save gas. They downgraded us from patrol cars.
Gotcha.
They gave us hybrids to save on fuel.
There you go.
That's my bad.
Yeah. All right. Once dispatch lets me know that actually exists, I'll catch you. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, I was supposed to do that to begin with the slow chat thing. Hold on, Yanana. 1 second. I'm sorry about that. That's why Mama Bear is supposed to be here to keep me together, guys. My apologies, folks. Give me 1 second here. I'll be right back with this. I promise. Okay, we should be good now. What just happened? Dag burn it. Hold on 1 second. 1 second.
You guys over it?
Okay, sorry about all that, guys. I thought I had activated the slow chat, and I guess it didn't, so my apologies, everyone. All right, here we go. Back to what we're doing.
Which department did y'all come from?
I don't know. I was at a friend's house.
I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know the person hosting the party?
Some guy named Matt, I think.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
In the middle. Which first name?
I don't think there's any sound for this. I don't know what the hell just happened, but is there supposed to be sound? It's not muted. Okay, this part was muted for a while. They turned off the sound on it. Sorry. It's right about here is where I'll pick it up again. What's up, Walt Harris? Good to see you. Yeah, they mute it because they're doing personal information for all these guys. That's why. So sorry, folks.
Why don't you guys all have a drink tonight? Couple beers. Beers? Yeah. Any hard liquor or anything like that? No.
Come on, guys. Stumbling down the driveway like that, that's more than a couple beers.
To be honest, I haven't drinking anything in like a month and a half, so kind of got me pretty quick.
But it's more than a couple beers.
And that doesn't, just because they, doesn't mean they're drunk. They could be on something else, you know?
6 at most.
Okay. What about you?
8.
Yeah. That's more accurate of an answer, I think. 2 is, yeah, it's a little low.
Oh, no.
So 6 to 8 for all of you?
Probably, yeah.
Some more shots?
No shots. Good.
Okay. What kind of beer?
Bush Light.
Bush Light?
Yeah, I didn't natural light.
All right. Let's try one more time. Was it really 6 to 8 or a little more than that?
16.
Okay.
Well, tonight for me, okay? All right.
$59.77. Are you gonna be issuing? Copy. I'll bring him over and write out one myself. All right, guys, come on over here. All right, if you guys all want to stand somewhere in this area, don't run off on me. None of you guys are 21. It's one thing to drink in an apartment where no one can see you. It's another thing for us to drive by and see you guys absolutely stumbling down the roadway. Okay, so likely what's going to happen, because you're all underage. What grade are you guys in? What year are you?
Freshman.
You guys are all freshmen?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys had any cop talks or anything like that with our 2 campus officers?
Yeah.
Brzezinski, Morris? Okay.
Yeah.
So none of this is a surprise. They've explained this all. They've given all the warning, stuff like that. Okay.
Yes,
so you guys are going to hang out for me. I know it's cold. I apologize. We'll try to get through this as quickly as we can. We're going to get you some citations and we'll catch you loose. Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good? All right. Good. Negative. He's been released from the scene. Thank you, though.
Homeboy lied to you.
What's that?
Homeboy lied to you.
No, he showed me a picture of it. I don't know if it was a 2-part.
Yeah, he just said it. Homeboy lied to you. Homeboy lied to you. I heard that. The only thing here that I'll say to discredit them as this being after the incident is they are clean with no visible injuries. Cops don't acknowledge any injuries either. That's a fact. That is a fact. Because here's the thing. If somebody was all tore up or, cut up or anything like that, they're going to say, hey, what happened? What's going on with this? Why do you look like that? You know what I mean? So that's a fact. Yeah, right. No, I get it, Mandy. But according to what Moscow PD said, there is no campus security or campus police. It's Moscow PD. So I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying that came from Moscow themselves, because in one of the body cam videos, somebody said something about campus police or something like that. And he said, there is no campus. We are campus police. That was a Moscow officer. So that's what I'm saying. And it makes me wonder at that point, like, who are these guys and who aren't these guys? Is this Moscow PD? I mean, based on what he said, but like, these guys have no computers in their cars. I know they're using their own vehicles. That's still a little odd to me. If they're doing it, the football game was that night and they needed, extra people or whatever they're doing. There was the other thing that I have an issue with is the guy is saying something, but you don't hear any response from dispatch. Did they block that out for some reason? I don't know. That's a little weird. What's up, Richard? Good to see you, brother. I don't know. I don't know. 312, scream, screech. Well, yeah, exactly. Chick antique. Something's up, folks. Something's definitely up. Melinda H, good to see you. Maybe they went to the 1122 house to score something and seen a body, got scared, took off running from the cops because they were scared. They blamed for drug. Well, again, remember that there was supposedly, now this is something that I'm really skeptical about, okay? That somebody supposedly videoed with their phone through a window, and that's where those supposed pictures came from. I don't know. You know, I'm not saying that that's real, guys, because I'm not, because we've never verified that anyway. So, again, if you listen, though, there's no response from dispatch, and I don't like that.
Last, and I don't know if I messed that up, but you showed me a valid picture of his ID. I could even see the hologram in it. Do you want to give me more of their info and I'll start?
CL, there were supposed pictures that I had seen. Somebody had sent me, a couple other people did too, of somebody standing over somebody doing something inside the house, supposedly. You know, like I said, those are not verified as real deal things. But again, nobody knows. Okay, nobody knows. That's all I'm saying, folks. Lugaroo, good to see you, and thank you. Just you got to pay attention to the details, guys, as you guys mostly all do. So you know.
His address in front of the one.
Okay.
I don't know about that. He just misspelled his name for him, I think, because he said he saw the hologram on the ID. So it's a real ID. Unless they figure out how to do that, I believe it's real. Welcome, Viv. Good to see you. Rosinski and Lazinski campus cops, I think. Thank you. Okay. Actually, let me write that down. That way I have it. Just so I can check that. Rosinski and Lizinski. Thank you so very much for that. Just to be sure. Just for the tea, it could be a deterrent. It's okay. I'll help you. Who says that? Good point. Wouldn't be surprised if that's why DM was afraid to call 911. The person she saw, she did recognize as being a cop. In a sense, kind of, yeah. Not to say that he was, but what we need to find out, in my opinion, folks, are who these people right here are. That whether they're security, whether they're off-duty police, whatever they are, I want to know who these two are. I want to know who these two are 100%. Period. That's all I'm saying.
Actually, go ahead with that.
Annie can't right now. She's working. I think Jules is too. But, you know, obviously everybody's welcome. For sure. Yeah, I think I heard that, Heather. I think so. I agree. I agree.
I've ran him yet.
You've not? Okay.
Last night, Idaho, George and Tom, first weekend, and Tom, and Nora, SCN, 05, 2003, no private. Austin Park Hill, Paul Adam Robert, Tim Henry, Edward Nathan, Chris David, Tom Adam Young, Jason Robert, Jay John, Saber 08, 2004, no private also. POV 0810 2004, and also with
I know this is kind of nothing, and it's kind of a joke. Actually, it's kind of a joke, but I just looked down and noticed that this dude's wearing Vans, and I just like had to say something just because of the so-called latent footprint. Remember, and it automatically, when you see these shoes, it just automatically takes you there. Looking right there, that's what he's wearing. So, just kind of a funny scenario, guys. That's all I'm saying. Welcome back in the USSR. Good to see you. Miss Alyssa McGrath, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that more than you guys know. Again, guys, this channel is 100% crowdfunded, so anything that you guys put out there for this channel to support it, it brings me back 100%. So I am very appreciative of that. Very much appreciative of that. 1 second, folks. Let me get this up and running again. My apologies for the delay, but yeah. You gotta kind of, there we go, laugh about the whole Vans thing. There they are. Anyway.
For this guy? You good? Gonna be the last of Regan, Robert, Edward, George, Adam, Nora. First of Peter.
Wait a minute. I didn't read that. I'm sorry, Alyssa. Every call they went to are the same ones. They scouted that house every time. The vehicle is a Nissan Rogue. You see it in the walk to the grub truck. Okay. Thank you, Alyssa.
I'm spelling middle B boy. DOB is 2003, Melthor, Idaho. Do you write these MIC or MIP?
Yes, I did, Leslie. Thank you for that, though. Thank you. That's the thing, Firefly. Vans are like, my son even wears them still. You know what I mean? Hell, my mother wears the damn things. Everybody's wearing them at this point, so you can't really like base that off of anything. The cops must be putting out all these clues of their shady behavior just to see how many self-proclaimed trained individual can break it down. The FBI and Idaho State Police are on. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's very possible, Alien. Very possible. Is the guy on the other side, the other far side, wearing boots? Looks like it. Yes, it does look like it. Sure can, Texas. 1 second. It is in chat as of right now. There you go.
We're good for, thank you.
That is a good point, Annie. I've watched that show, and it does happen. Listen, Alien, you can't say that it's ridiculous until we know. I mean, that's your right to say that, of course. I'm not saying that. But we don't know what's right or what's wrong or what's real, what's not at this point. Everything is out there, like I keep saying. I understand and I respect your opinion on that. I absolutely do. But I mean, do we really know? We don't. So, at this point, anything is possible, is what I'm saying. Can you hear me, Texas?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Welcome. Good to hear you. Maybe talk a little bit louder so they can hear you.
Okay, well, I do have Bluetooth on, so if it gets too bad, I'll just take it off, disconnect
Oh,
it,
okay.
and go
No
with my
problem.
phone.
Welcome. Welcome, by the way. It's good to have you here.
Well, thank you. I hope everybody can put up with my Texas accent.
No worries whatsoever. I'm married to a Southerner, and her mother's here too, and I'm used to it. I love it. So,
Great. Well, I've seen your show for a while. I've been watching TNT for a long time, and that's where I found out about you.
right,
But what really drew me to your channel is that it's like the whole no judge zone. I love it.
right.
Um, I think everybody has the right to their opinion. Only this last week, I have found myself being very impatient with the enormous amount of people who have already tried, convicted, and hung this young man.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with you. And it's only because, folks, it's not that I'm impatient. It's the fact that, again, as I keep preaching this, he's innocent until proven guilty. Okay. And that is the Constitution, the United States, the way it's set up, the way it is. We gotta practice that, folks. We have to give the innocence
And
until proven guilt. Period.
that's why I'm calling. So no one can see me, no one knows my real name, so I feel comfortable enough sharing a little TMI. I would like to take a moment to give people, because I see a couple of folks in the chat getting a little ornery about us accusing law enforcement. Well,
Right.
what's wrong with accusing them? Everyone's accusing this young man that we haven't seen. I haven't seen enough. If I was on his jury right now, I could not convict him.
Exactly. There's not enough evidence to do that, in my opinion.
And there's way too much convoluted back and forth. They've changed their story a million times. But I want people to think about this. I am 51 years old. I am a Sunday school teacher and I'm a licensed healthcare professional in my state.
Yes, ma'am.
I have friends that are police officers that I grew up with, and I have a lot of respect, or I'm going to say had a lot of respect for law enforcement. I am trying to work on getting that back. Let me tell y'all why you can't convict this gentleman. A year and a half, well, a year ago, almost a year ago in August, I have been raising my grandbaby. She's 7, and I've had her since she was 10 months old when my daughter packed her bags, walked out because she wasn't ready to be an adult. I didn't know you had a choice when you had a kid, but evidently you do.
I
And
get it.
I've had the baby since then, and she went on to have 2 more that I unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, fortunately, it's been a beautiful thing. I had to adopt them out. She was going to leave them with me too. And that gets very, very expensive. My husband and I weren't prepared. My daughter is not his daughter. That's a lot to put on
Right.
my husband.
I get it.
But they have beautiful families, and I get pictures, and I'm okay with that. But it did break my heart. It was a tough, gut wrenching thing to have to go through.
Absolutely.
Last year, well, actually, it was more than a year, but in August, she's now a full blown heroin addict.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Um, Me too. And this is why I also think drugs are involved. People are like, drugs couldn't be involved. How could drugs lead to 4 people getting
Oh, no. I agree with
stabbed to
you.
death?
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you, drugs will lead people to step on babies and their mothers. Because last year I bailed her out of jail for a theft charge because she promised me the world.
Yep.
And she had nowhere to go because everybody else had given up on her. And I let her back in my home. And she continued to use, and thinking I was stupid, I found needles in my laundry. I
Mm,
found needles in her bedroom where the little one can get into them. And she wasn't being a mom. She's here in the home with her own child, ignoring her. And on August the 2nd of last year, she yelled at that baby after she lost her first tooth. She yelled at her. And I began throwing her stuff out the front door and told her to get out of my home.
good for you.
And in her high head, she decided it would be good to call the police and claim that I hit her.
Oh, my God.
I went to jail. I didn't even have a parking ticket on my record. I went to jail. And $8,000 later, I have had both charges that were put on me dismissed they won't even pursue it. They refused the
Good.
charges. But it
Good.
took $8,000. And
Right.
now I am $8,000 into ending her parental rights and adopting my granddaughter and having her not be a part of my life. So I'm going to tell you people, stop judging. I did nothing but protect my grandbaby, and I went to jail, and I had to prove my innocence. I wasn't innocent until proven guilty.
That's
I
right.
was guilty until I spent enough money, cried enough tears, and screamed at the rooftops, and they finally listened to me. Well, and in between that, she got arrested for a huge heroin charge and was indicted by a grand jury. So that helped.
Yeah, that'll definitely change things.
But this is America. We don't live in China where that's okay. You're just guilty because they say so.
No, no, and that's a big thing. First of all, God bless you, and I'm sorry you went through that, and more power to you. You deserve it all. You know, you'll definitely be in my thoughts and prayers. That's for sure. As will your daughter, of course, until she gets herself straight. But you know, as parents, this is what we do. But God bless you 100% for doing what you're doing. But yeah, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. The way our government is set up, they can say it's innocent until proven guilty. They always say it's innocent until proven guilty. Folks, we all in here, all 350 of you know it is guilty until proven innocent in a court of law, period. And that's where we're at. And even out here, as soon as they said this man's name, I'm going to say 65 to 75% of the people that are on YouTube said it was him. He's guilty. It's done. It's over with in my mind. That's it.
Strap him to a table, put the drugs in, and kill him.
That's it. That's
And what?
absolutely.
And what? You know, I don't even. Part of me thinks maybe he was connected in some way, maybe through the drugs. But do I? I don't think he killed those kids. I'm sorry, my gut has screamed that from day one. Something's not right.
I agree.
He was too. It was too easy. That was too. I think it's the fraternity. And my reason for that is no one talks about the days. There was a few days after the murders that there were like 12 cop cars lined up at that fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
No one talks about that anymore. But if it came out that that fraternity had something to do with it for whatever reasons, that school would lose everything and that town would go under.
And that's the point. And I said this last week as in one of my shows. A lot of people don't get this. A college town is a town of the college. That college, folks, is what runs that town. That is what runs that police force. That is what pays that police force and fire department. And anything in that town is basing their life and their livelihood on that college. Okay, because if that college were to shut down, that town would be gone in 6
That's
months.
it.
I
Because
promise.
I live in Waco, Texas, home of the Baylor Bears, and
Oh
we've had a
yeah,
lot of bad things happen here, and it gets swept under the rug. People
David
get paid
Koresh.
off.
Yes,
They kick the coach out because that seemed to satisfy everybody. Maybe he knew, maybe he didn't. I don't know, but nobody went to jail.
right, right. That's a mess.
So
That's just a mess.
so it's not. I don't think this boy did that, and now his life is ruined forever.
And I just said that.
Even
Yep, you are
Yep,
right.
even if he's found not guilty, his
Right.
life is over.
He's done. And he's going to, I just said this yesterday, guys. I said, if Brian Koberger is found innocent, first of all, they're going to burn Moscow to the ground. It's going to be bad. Okay. And
Yep.
he's going to have to disappear for years, not just weeks or months, years, folks. He's going to have to go clear to the other side of the country and start a life in quiet. He can't just live a normal life.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, because now, I mean, look at me. This is a smaller scale. Every 2 years, I have to renew my license with the state to keep my practice.
Right.
What happened to me is going to show up every time, and I'm going to have to defend myself.
Correct. Absolutely. That is a fact. And it's sad, but this is the way things are. This is the way things are, guys. Society is who society is. And you know, in a sense, we've made it that way. And no matter what we do to try to change things, it's too late now. This is just the way things are. And for the people, like I said, I respect everybody's theories, opinions, and thoughts, and that's what my channel is based on. And I never will ever attack anybody for making comments, this, that, or anything else. As I said, you could tell me aliens did this, and I would, okay, I don't agree with you, but okay, you know, we can agree to disagree because we're all adults, and that's what this is all about. The point is, and I've seen a lot of people get irritated because people say that maybe the police is corrupt. Okay, maybe the police are corrupt here, and maybe the police are corrupt there. It's not so outlandish as to think that. It's okay to have that thought in your mind, but therefore you have to look and you have to try to find why you think that. Okay, and there's things that are given to us at this point, being out here in the where we're at. Okay, and we sometimes we have no choice but to think this because it's so suspicious. You know, what are we supposed to think? Now nobody's going and convicting these officers of anything. We're just saying that looks kind of funny. You know, that's kind of weird, that's kind of off. That's all this is. It's innocent, it's not hurting anybody. You know, these officers do their jobs. I'm sure that there's been other people that have accused police officers of not being, quote unquote, 100%, you know,
Oh,
the way,
oh,
the way,
I can testify to that because
yeah,
I'm going to be filing a complaint with the police that arrested me because ugh, one of the officers that arrested me, when he showed up, I had left to get away from my daughter because she went ballistic. She
right.
jumped in front of my car trying to get me to hit her, and I got a flat tire because I hit the flood curb. We live on a creek,
Mm-hmm.
on a creek. A creek is behind our home, and
Mm-hmm.
it popped my tire. So one of my charges was child endangerment because the baby was in her car seat in the back and I had a flat tire. The reason that charge happened was because 2 years before that, in the middle of COVID, I lost my position. Well, I was a clinician at a practice and I lost my position. And I was dealing with my daughter being a heroin addict
Right.
and having the baby. And oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And I had a bad day where I was down in the dumps and I decided that day I was going to drink a little bit and got stupid and made an offhanded comment about wanting to hurt myself. And the cops came and I wouldn't open my door because I didn't want to see anybody. I hadn't done anything. Go away, leave me alone. Well, he wanted to arrest me. And his sergeant showed up and said, no, 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 no. We don't punish people for having a bad mental health day. We help them. So when he got to me on the day of this incident with my daughter, he looked at me. This is why they threw it out because it's on body cam. And he
Right.
says to me, oh, I remember you. You got off easy last time. I bet you don't this time.
See, those are the things that we look to these people to protect us. And to say something like that to somebody, whether you think they're guilty or not, it's not their place. That is what makes me nervous with some law enforcement officers. I've seen it around me. Okay, so I agree. I can understand that. And you know, Rumsey said to tell you to demand a public apology. I would, especially if you were wronged like that. I would definitely do that, and that will show other people that not all law enforcement is on the up and up 100%, period. They sometimes
I
their jobs go to their head and they think it's a power play, folks. They get so much power that it goes to their head and they don't know how to handle that. And these
nope,
things happen. You know what I'm
nope.
saying?
And I told them I will not. I said if someone breaks into my home trying to kill me, they're gonna murder me because I'm not calling you people. I don't trust any of you
And
anymore.
and that's sad. That is sad. But I agree with you. I know a lot of people that feel that way. Okay. It's not so outlandish, folks, for the police to be corrupt in some places. It's not. I don't know why people get so worked up about that. It happens. We've seen it. We've seen trials of police officers, you know, that have done things that they're not supposed to do. Okay? It happens. They're
Yep,
human beings just like the rest of us. They make mistakes just like the rest of us. They make bad decisions just like the rest of us.
yep. And I told him when they were put me in the back of the car, which had never happened to me before, I guess in a way I'm glad. I mean, I could tick that off my bucket list. Go to jail, check. Um,
Right.
I told him, I said, she's standing in front of y'all in a shirt with cartoon weed all over it, and she's high as a kite, and you're going to take her word over mine? Pull me up. I don't even have a parking ticket. And he looks at me and says, well, we serve and protect even drug addicts, ma'am, and slammed the door in my face.
Wow. That is unreal. I'm so sorry.
It
I
was
really am.
horrible. It took me 3 months. I would try to go to sleep and start reliving what happened because that was one of my worst fears. I I made it to 51 with I never got in trouble. I was proud of that. And they took that away from me, and I would try to go to sleep, relive it, wake up, and I would go into these I screamed at my husband. I said, "Divorce me. I'm a common criminal now." It almost got me.
I get it. I
And
do.
I
I
don't
get
want
it.
to get into a whole spiritual thing because I know we leave that off, but I have to give all the thanks to my higher power because I wouldn't be here.
Oh, 100%. Like I said, God is great. I believe in God. I just don't preach it to everybody else. You know, I have my faith, and that is what it is. That's all there is to
Yep.
it. Everybody
Yep.
has their own answer to that question. Okay.
Yep.
So, and I'm right there with you with that one because you got to do that. You got to have something to go to, guys. You do. I don't care if it's a cartoon character. That's your problem. That's your thing. Do it for it. I have mine. You have yours. It's all good.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, but like I said, God bless you for doing what you're doing, and more power to you because it's not easy. But yeah, it does happen. It does happen, guys.
It happened. And I wanted everybody to know that. And I want people who are frying this young man to stop and take a pause and think, it could be you in a heartbeat.
Yeah, very, very, very quickly. When anybody that thinks, oh, that'll never happen to me, stand back and watch that lightning strike in front of you because guess what? It definitely can at the drop of a dime. And you gotta keep your eyes open and your ears open, folks, and watch what's going on around you and observe things. That's the problem. A lot of people just go through life without looking. They look down and walk forward every day of their life. You can't do that, guys. You got to look around you and listen to what's going on and observe everything. There's so much stuff that I've seen that I shouldn't see. You know, when I was in fire and EMS, oh my God, you have no idea. I'm not even going to get into it. I'm just telling you, it does go on.
Yes,
It definitely does.
Well, thank you for letting me speak. That's really been on my mind for weeks, and I was trying to look for the right person to share that with, and your channel is just perfection.
That's right. And I appreciate that. I really do. I really do appreciate that. Again, guys, you will never be judged for voicing any type of an opinion, theory, thought, or anything in here. I will not allow that. It is an open floor here. You know, minus, you know, we don't do the racism thing. We don't do anything like that. But of course, anything else, please feel free and feel. I want everybody to feel comfortable to speak what they feel and think without being, you know, begrudged or just dogged because of their thought. That's not how we are supposed to be as a people, and I refuse to let that happen in here. So once again, I appreciate your input, your insight, and I really do appreciate you being here and supporting this channel.
Well, thank you, and everybody in chat. I enjoy y'all. Everybody's great, and everyone have a blessed weekend.
Yes, you too, my dear. Thank you so much again.
You.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. And then again, anybody else that wants to pop up here that has anything to say, let me know. Let me know. Open panel today, folks. That's what it's all about. Until then, let's move on through the rest of this and see what we get out of this.
What's 701 Taylor's address?
Okay.
That is an absolutely amazing comment, CL. It's because you're seeking the truth, and the heart knows what we've been told is not adding up. That's exactly what it is. And it's not just the heart. Our hearts and our minds go together, guys. When they're not both on the same page, that's where the problems start. Thank you for that, CL.
Sorry, guys, almost done.
Thank you, Robert.
You on December 1st? Okay.
Awesome, Leslie. Congratulations, and thank you for being here. I appreciate you.
Here's your ID back.
Thank you.
So it's infraction ticket, so it's not a misdemeanor, nothing criminal, just like that.
Okay, cool.
Your info's up here. Driver's license information.
Yes, sir.
Charge can be minor in consumption.
Okay.
Idaho code. Here's the location. My info down here. So that you need to have this either contested or paid by the 1st of December, 2022 at 8:30.
You know how much it would be?
At the courthouse, I do. If you could sign on the yellow there, the charge for MIP is $487.50.
Okay.
So, perfect. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
I'll get you a copy here.
Thank you.
All right, man. Any questions for me? With that, yeah, you're.
Hello, hello. Welcome back, Miss Annie.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. Welcome back up here. What's going on?
Not much. I wanted to hop back on because I was, I was in the middle of working, but I was also listening and I couldn't really be all up in the spot like I wanted to be. So I just wanted to clarify. I'm not accusing anyone of anything.
Right.
I was just making observations because I promise you this Banfield body cam video I've, gone through many, many times. These are just observations that I'm making based on some of my training, some of my knowledge. To me, it appears that these officers, air quote, are literally running cover, is what it looks like.
And that guys, understand. Sorry, Annie, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That's what nobody's saying that that's a fact. Okay. Nobody that's saying this is saying it's a fact. They're saying it seems to be that way. Okay. It really does look that way. And I agree with that. I told you guys when we watched this.
The behavior alone.
The action. Correct. Absolutely. It just seems very suspicious. So I can agree with that, and that does not mean that they're being accused of being corrupted. It means that this is suspicious looking, period. Your behavior is off. End of story. That's the only way to take it because that's the way we're saying it. So I do agree with that. I really do.
I just feel like, a 45-minute stop to write a citation for beer. And the way that they stop them, they literally chase them down to prevent them from heading in the direction that they're heading while the vehicle is blocking the entrance off of Taylor into the King Road area. You've got them there for 45 minutes to write a citation for beer, and then you don't bring them over to the car itself until after the truck leaves. And every single time that this person is calling into dispatch, air quote, right? Calling into dispatch. Nothing's coming back.
Nothing.
You hear nothing coming back. So they're using earpieces or something to communicate with each other, in my opinion.
Here's the thing. If I'm wrong, somebody can correct me. When you're wearing a body cam and you're talking on radio back and forth, that's to be recorded for a reason, in my thought. So why is that being hidden? Why is that quieted down? Whatever it is, it doesn't make sense. And that goes right along with the suspicious behavior. There's no radios, like real radios in these vehicles. There's no computers in these vehicles. If they're using their private vehicle, that's an odd situation in itself, if you ask me. I've never seen that done. But okay, I'll let that be. Okay. But at the same time, This is very weird, folks. Very weird. I've never seen, if these guys listen, if this protocol tonight was for them to go around campus and catch as many underage drinkers or whatever they're doing as they can, they failed because they spent 45 minutes with this one call. And she's right, guys. The whole time they're standing right in front of this residence. They're blocking the driveway. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're moving their hands in certain ways in front of the body cams to block certain things. You know, if you're not paying attention to it, you're not going to get it. But if you are, you get all of it. And that's what the weird thing is. Welcome, Eve. Good to see you.
I also think it's very interesting, too, that this body cam aligns with the Linda Lane landlord who turned over his footage and claims that there's this vehicle between 2:45 a.m. and 3:15. So now we have confirmation between this body cam and Linda Lane, 2 videos, actual videos, you know, for this time frame here.
Yes. 100%. 100%. And
I know a lot of people are like, well, why would these cops want to do this or whatever? I mean, you know,
here's the thing too,
if
Annie,
if you happen to be 1 or 2 or 3 crooked law enforcement officers on a department where you've been able to get away with a lot of crooked shit for a long time, and maybe somebody rats you out, you know, that's motive.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's the thing. These guys are claiming that they're checking underage drinkers. Am I wrong? That's what this claim was, right? Okay. Well, as we saw, while they had these 3 going, there's 2 cops here, right? And they stopped these guys from running off themselves with no problem. So when these other guys go jogging by, which I know he saw them go by, you can't miss that. Why did he not stop them and say, hey, stop? You wait for a minute until we're done with them and we're going to get to you. Why didn't they do that? Why are you specifying, you know, honing in on these 3 guys? What's wrong with everybody else that's around you doing it? If that's really what you're here doing. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I've been on this body cam for a long time, and trust me, many people in many chats and, you know, on many streams that I popped up on, they tell me, you know, you're crazy, you're this, you're that. And I'm like, bro, I've been called worse. Like, I'm making observations based on my own training, based on my own knowledge and skill set. You know, it is what it is. I'm just making observations based on what I know, my experiences. This, to me, this entire body cam, this entire stop, looks to me like they're running cover for whatever's already going on at the house, and they are trying to make sure nobody heads that way.
And that's the thing, folks. If you look at this in any other way, there's no other way to see it. I've been bothered by this whole thing. Why did you let those 4 guys, or how many guys that was, go by? Because they weren't going that direction. That's why. Okay.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. This is crazy. That's why I want to know who these 2 guys are. I want to know who these 2 police officers are that are plain clothes, you know, wearing their own cars.
I could have sworn there was either it was an article or a report somewhere where Chief Fry himself was asked about this particular body cam and these officers. And he was asked about the hybrid vehicles, and he said that Moscow Police Department doesn't have hybrid vehicles.
Yes, I heard the same thing. Correct.
But then somebody else said they dug into the actual MPD financial reports, like yearly reports, and there was funding for hybrid vehicles. So I don't know if they got the funding for the hybrid vehicles for these undercovers, or if they, you know, who knows, they're probably just lying. I have no idea, but I will, you know, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just saying this body cam is in particular very interesting when you learn that a neighbor also has surveillance video that was turned over for this same time frame.
Right. Yeah, and now there's multiple people that have said that the timeline was definitely off. And if you back this up right to that timeline, this is way too coincidental, folks. And I have said from the time that I started this that I don't believe there's coincidences in true crime. I'm sorry.
And the original time given by law enforcement was 3 a.m.
That's right. That is correct.
So yeah, I just wanted to clarify. I'm not accusing these cops of anything. What I'm saying is,
it's suspicious.
It appears, right?
Yes.
I'm just stating what it appears to look like to me. I'm not stating that that is what happened. However, it should not be discounted either.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As I said, nothing is off the table, guys. Nothing, absolutely nothing. 100%. And it does make sense. It makes all the sense in the world, Annie. It really does.
And it was so odd to me too. Like they wait for the truck to speed away before they head back towards the car.
They had to give it time.
You know, you've got one heading back to the car already while the other one's still in the field. And the one in the field is getting the intel from the guy in the car. When the truck flies by, yeah, now you can come this way.
And what was he? Yeah, what was he motioning to him with his hand out right here? I saw that happen, by the way. If you guys didn't, I'll back up and show you that. Like, what were you pointing at? Were you pointing back this way? Were you pointing over there? What were you doing? You know what I mean? They should have to answer for this, in my opinion. They really should.
Oh, I agree. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, I would, I would subpoena them for sure. Ask them exactly what was going on that night around that area. And right. And if I was the defense, I'd subpoena both of these officers for sure.
That's right. That is right. I absolutely agree.
I'm nobody either. I can't subpoena anybody, but I promise you, if I had the power, these would be like the first people I'm talking to, along with a couple of others. But
I absolutely agree. I do, because we've all thought that this whole thing was weirdly suspicious from the moment we saw this. Okay, based on what's going on at the house and the different timeline and all this other stuff, guys, it just does not fit. And again, like Annie just said, nobody is accusing them of anything. The only thing that we're accusing anything of is that this whole scenario is weird. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit. And that's it.
Well, and it's also a fact too. It is documented fact. Like these are things that people can look up. Moscow Police Department is actually known for lots of issues. They like to, they have issues with Brady Giglio. They have issues with all kinds of things like that. If you can look it up online, the Brady Giglio site, and it tells you like which places are in compliance and which aren't. And MPD is listed as one of those departments that is not in compliance with Brady Giglio statutes and policies.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
For anybody to think that it's impossible, why would no. I don't, and I'm not saying that they're not entitled to that thought, but what I'm saying is keep an open mind that cops, police officers, law enforcement, whatever you want to call them, they're just as capable of being involved in some really crooked, crazy things.
100%.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely, 100%. Like I said, they're human, just like the rest of us. We make mistakes. We make bad choices. We make bad decisions. It happens, folks. They're not beyond that just because they wear a badge. Okay? Nobody is perfect.
I was just watching a case the other day. It was a case about a police officer out of Texas. This gentleman was a police officer by day and involved with the Texas Mexican mafia by night, and he owned a tattoo shop. And apparently, a couple months before he was murdered by this mafia or whatever, feds were kind of onto him. And what they did is they basically pretended to be like the electricians for outside, your electrical workers. Right. And they climbed up the pole, climbed to the top of his building. They installed security cameras, like they got warrants and everything to wiretap him and put surveillance up on him. all
Right.
around his business, and they caught his whole murder on film because the feds were already watching him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So
Yes, I
it's
do.
not that crazy to think. It's actually very commonplace, unfortunately, in certain sectors, because these officers have access to groups of people like gangs and stuff like that, where they can be bought off, paid to look the other way, be involved in things like that. And, you could take home 50, 60 grand just because you looked the other way while over here was being robbed. Do you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh, yeah. She was in here yesterday, Walt. She just doesn't go under that name, but she was here. She's been in here almost every time I'm live, so she definitely doesn't have any fear of it. So, but yeah, and I absolutely agree with you, Annie, 100%. No, 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 no. That's a good point, Boone. I appreciate that as well.
But yeah, I'll let other people hop on. I just wanted to clarify. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm just
Right.
stating
No.
my observations from this body cam.
Yes, absolutely no worries, Annie. I appreciate you so very much.
Okay, now I'm really gone though. Have a great weekend.
All right, dear. You too. Thank you again.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, guys. There we go. Let's see. Crimes, Lies, and Videotape. I like that name. Pretty cool. The officers who responded to Banfield are Jacob Tesdall, thank you, and Rosendahl, and they're on scene until 3:32 a.m. I have the receipt, and the receipt also shows the names of the 3 students. Awesome. Thank you for that info. Crimes, Lies, and Videotapes. And somebody else did give me their names already. I do appreciate that as well. Good to know. There it is. That's it right there, folks. That's all we got to do is get that kind of information to appease our thoughts, okay? In my opinion, I'm sorry. Awesome, Sylvia. Thank you. Anybody that has that, if you'd like to send that info to me, 2 dolls. That is weird. Tesdall and Rosendahl. Interesting. What's up, Brian? Dude, Brian, if you wanted to jump up here, the link is in the chat. You can just click on it and you're welcome to jump up here, brother. Just so you know, guys, if you give me please about 30 seconds, I need to refill my drink because my mouth is drying out. Take that time to grab snacks or drinks or whatever you would like to, refill your drink, use the bathroom, and I will be right back. All right, everybody. Sorry about that. I had to refill my cup, and I am back. Okie doke. All right, let's move this along here.
Yeah, you too, man. All right, guys, almost done with yours. Had you been issued an MIC or MIP citation before? Okay.
You know, that's one other thing I did notice from before too. Like these guys were together when they stopped them. Okay, they're doing their thing, and that guy takes off by himself. Didn't wait around for them. Just kept right on going. That was a little weird to me. I'm not saying to put anything into it, folks. I'm not saying it's anything serious. I just thought it was a little bit off. That's all I'm saying. Okay, Miss Molly, thank you, dear. I will check that right now.
You started the third one? Okay. Sorry, guys. I know it's cold. Like I said, it's one thing to drink inside, I'm sure. I mean, we've all been to college. We've all been there. But it's another thing to be very publicly intoxicated and kind of bring this conversation on you. So that being said, not the end of the world. So just an infraction, not a criminal charge, nothing like that. So
I appreciate that.
yeah. In the future, I know it might seem like it's weird that cops walk around in plain clothes, but we do have a job to do. So if I yell at you guys, hey, come talk to me, probably should go that route instead of walking away. All right. You guys all live at the same frat?
Yeah.
Which is?
Alpha Kappa.
Okay. What's you guys' tradition with flipping a car at the beginning of each year?
I snapped in, so I didn't join like a month in.
Oh, really?
You
Okay.
mean like the car bash?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just an event for Rush, so that.
Thanks for being here, Richard. I appreciate you, brother. Hope to see you again soon.
Pickaxes and sledgehammer.
Well, we see it every year in the morning. We drive by and we go, holy shit, someone's got some cleanup to do. So
Yeah.
right on.
Yeah.
Who gets to give up their personal car for bashing?
They just buy it.
Oh, really? Buy a junker?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The police logs for that night were not available. Nobody could get a hold of them. Nobody knows what happened with that. Whether it was recorded or not, nobody knows. That's the problem. That was something else that was a little bit off. Okay. And again, these things that happen, guys, think about it. When we're expecting to see certain things come out of a situation or an experience and they're not there, that makes you once again go, what's going on and why? Okay. You know what I mean? Good to see you, Julie Dunn, and number 12 or 12. Good thing. That is funny. You guys must have been thinking, what the F is wrong with this dude? Yeah, right. Absolutely. Let me see here. Oh, where'd that go? Back in USSR. This chat gives me hope that there are still people that have critical thinking skills. The rubber stamp. Absolutely, USSR. Absolutely. I'm very proud that this community exists and that these people can be here for this. I really am. So I thank you for that. And he says they had to scrub them first, then posted calls for the 13th. On the 15th, I think that was it. Yeah. The thing came through on the 13th and it was posted on the 5th for the 15th. Again, a situational issue that causes us to believe that something is suspicious. Because it's not normal. That's normal thinking too, folks. Again, Michelle Epple, good to see you. It's been a while. Yes, absolutely. And it's great to have you here, dear. Thank you so very much. Didn't know they were in plain clothes. That explains why students questioned if they were law enforcement. Absolutely, Paula. But it does make you wonder. Has that happened before? Have other people Have other people been, pretending to be police officers and stopping people on this campus? Something to think about. Critical listening skills go for all sides. Absolutely, they do. They go both ways, all the way, any which way. In my opinion, I agree. Of course not. This video was made after the crime. Well, maybe. Bubbly says yes, Annie. They scrubbed the knife call too. I actually saw it, but don't think it to screenshot at the time. I screenshot everything now, and so do I. Something you got to learn to do, folks, if you want to hold on to things. Thank you so very much, Crimes and Lies. Here, I'll put it in here, right here for you, right underneath you. Again, I love your name. There you go. Whatever that was. There's the email. Did I miss that call? Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can catch it. My network is garbage, folks, so my apologies at times. I do have an email that Molly sent me. I'm going to put up here in a second too that goes along with this. Kind of interesting to say the least. That was a Florida call. Let me call that back real fast here and see what we got. My apologies to whoever that is. Hopefully. Hello. This is the Dago. Did you call?
Oh my God! How long have you been there?
Oh, I just picked it up. No worries. Who am I?
This is Brian. How are you?
What is up, Mr. Brian? Good to hear from you.
Love your stuff. I like your style. And I just saw that Brooke was here. Hi, Brooke. I love my book.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Brian.
What I wanted to do with you guys was this, okay? Because it's just incredible. Someone in the comments posted this program trained. So what happened, I would say like a month ago, and that's how we all are, right? We all are curious and intuitive people, so we search. So I thought I want to know more about this.
Absolutely.
But the most important thing I want you guys to know is that I find it. It comes up as I am reading it, you all. I am not aware that this is an ad for the software. Okay. So, and my thought was, man, after reading this, I'm not running to Best Buy to pick this up.
Right.
So here are quotes for this CAS program that he probably has not been trained on, but forget that, even if you're trained on it. Here are some lines from their ad. It's incredible. The FBI Cellular Analyst Team, CAST, is promoting a new methodology that it claims the FBI can. Here's what it says. It has very simplistic answers to these complex questions that amount to a trust me because I say so notion.
Right.
Later on it says, cell sector analysis is not precise. Later on it says, accuracy is very limited. Now I'm starting to get even more pain. What the hell are you doing? Then the next line that captured my imagination was, says it can increase location precision, but has basically been rejected by courts as unscientific. So on I go. Analysis based on the cell sector plus timing and power information is unknown. Impressive, huh, guys?
Wow.
And it says, CAST relies on now some of this I may not get, but CAST relies on historical signal data that a network measures and calculates for purposes other than providing its customers with precise location information. Wow, I'm running the FBI. I want my staff having this outfit. Okay?
Right.
The next line is, the cellular industry, however, considers the accuracy of this time banding to be very poor. This is an ad for them. FBI CAST claims it can provide cellular industry considers the accuracy of RTT location data to be low. Come on, y'all. Really? Are you serious? Are you serious? And then if we throw in this moron, Payne, who even if he was trained, probably meant he wasn't paying attention or couldn't do it. And this is what they're going to go to court. Now, if little old me can find this ad, some sharp attorney in a court of law can find this and just do just with the stuff I just read from the ads and ask them to explain.
Exactly.
And if all of us were a juror, do you think any of us are now going to have some doubts? That's an ad.
Just a little, yeah.
And then the other thing that has I mean, everything is crazy for these people on social media with this case. Like the
Thank you, Crimes Lies. Go ahead.
No, the shocking closet. Every apartment in that place is for students. Okay, they have a closet. Okay, this is not a secret thing. It comes with the rent. Okay, their college kids, they probably have canoes, surfboards, whatever. Then every single time, right, secret closet is mentioned, cobwebs is mentioned. Who on earth is not associated cobwebs? No one has been in there. Then he gets flipped out.
Brian, hold on a minute, brother. I guess they're getting static. Let me readjust this here to make sure they're hearing you clearly. I don't want you wasting your interesting. Yeah, it's a very interesting piece. How does that sound, everybody? Let me clear it up first. I think it's me. I don't know, but is that any better, guys? Hello. Yeah, I know. Let me try this here. It's me, I think. Hold on. Let me try this here real quick, folks.
No, you guys, I'm on some of you guys
All right, how about now? Is that good? Or is that better? Right. No, it sounds like they're trying to pry. What the hell's going on? Hold on, Brian. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. Why is this doing this?
No, I think it's probably me.
Well,
Because I'm on a phone from 1970s.
Sounds bad. Is that any better? How about?
No, I don't know. Wait, let me try something. I don't know. I still have the headphones on. Let me turn them off, but I just don't know.
I think it's me. How about now, folks? Yes, no, it's electronic device interference.
Well, then maybe now it should be gone. Because I just turned off the headphones.
Okay, Joel just said yes. And Sudi said no. Wait a minute. My ears, did you say?
Well, I couldn't know if the headphones interfere with the landline guys. I don't do any of this stuff.
All right,
okay.
Now we're clear. All right, go ahead, Brian. Sorry about that.
Okay. The thing with the cobwebs, doesn't that indicate to you all that nothing has been in there for years, but now everyone is making it like this mass murder of killed and ran, and leaving your garbage cans empty? Who on earth does an empty garbage cans if you're going to be gone for half a month? Like, why is that like such a going on and being such a big deal? Like, that is just a dumb question to me.
Okay.
Of course, you empty your garbage bags. You can. So you're going to leave garbage 2 weeks in your house?
Right.
Why would you want to come back and deal with that? There's been a couple of them. I just forgot what I was going to say. Yes, I'm Jewish. That's funny. What made you ask that, George?
Hey.
I guess I have to wait for an answer.
I'm trying to. Now that's static again. I don't understand this. What is going on?
See, no, I don't think this guys, a regular phone.
house phone. A landline. Yep. Okay, guys, how do I sound now? How do I sound? I'm asking them how I sound now. He's on a landline phone, by the way, folks. It, are you able to click? Are you able to click on the link with your or on anything like that to come up on the panel and talk, Brian?
Yeah, I can, but that's like a huge ordeal. Maybe we'll see. I still haven't figured out. I've done it. I've gone up and talked to people. I've been fine, and then all of a sudden the headphones started acting out. And now I'm kind of like, I don't know. That's funny, Brett. I knew you were kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I may try that.
Yeah, because they're saying they can't hear what you're saying, and I really would like for them to hear it.
I thank you. That's funny. I definitely have learned another thing now. I really have to figure out the string from the string thing, huh? Oh, well. But I just want you to know I love your book. I love my book. I love my Break the Kill. His name has never, ever not given me the chills every time I read it.
Right.
And the first couple of times I saw it, it was a wall where I didn't get it. And then all of a sudden I thought, oh my God, he's on a true crime piece. Give me that chill.
Gotcha.
All right, I'm going to hang up. Bye, guys.
All right, Brian, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you.
Be good. I appreciate you all.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, it had to have been that, guys, because I adjusted everything I can, and it just... I don't think I've ever had anybody call in on a landline, to be honest with you. And he's out. Definitely appreciate you, sir. Definitely appreciate you. All right, well, hopefully you guys can hear me without static. So it, like I said, it had to have been some kind of interference with that. Real quick, I'm going to do something here, guys. Miss Molly sent me. It's the cell, not him. Probably red. That's what I was thinking. When you get it close to the microphone, it does all this stuff. I got to be able to link this into my, if I can get my soundboard up and running again without giving us problems, then it would be good. And I will. No worries. But let me show you this. Molly just sent me these via Gmail. Thank you again for that, Molly dear. Sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher. That's what you're talking about, Bubbly. Receipt below. That was Doc. Thank you, Doc. I appreciate that. Very much so. Okay. All right, here. All right, so this is what you're sending me. These were at that stop. What am I looking at here, Molly? Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Doc. I do. And much respect, by the way. I love your stuff. So don't ever, whatever has been heard or talked about from other places and stuff, I'm not one of them people. So I appreciate you. Very much so. If that's who that was, it says it in the email. So be it. When a boy sends the 13th, bye monsters. Yeah, very possible, Leslie. I agree. All right, there's that one, and then there we go, Molly. Thank you. All right, so here's the thing with this. This is one of the guys here. This kid looks like he's in high school. This is one of the supposed police officers. Okay. And there's an arrow pointing back here. And let's see. Oh, yeah, I see what it is. So we're looking. All right. Thank you so much, Bubbly. Appreciate that. Awesome stuff, Doc. I appreciate you very much. And mad respect to you, brother. Mad respect to you. Right? This guy's, what is going on, guys? Is this like the bushy eyebrow club or what? Or do you have to have bushy eyebrows to go to Idaho? Come on. All right, so we're looking at the timestamp here, folks. 3:14 a.m. And this is the house. And this is the second time it goes by. Well, we're looking at the vehicle that goes by. So it's the same vehicle that's going. Here it is again. Yeah. So what are they watching this scenario here? Waiting? What's going on with this? It's kind of weird. It is weird. I do agree with you, Annie. I absolutely do. There it is again. I can't see what type of vehicle it is. It's very hard to. $3:12 a.m. And over here is the same vehicle. So that was twice that vehicle did that. Like waiting for a light to do something as a clue. It was done. That's a good point, Jules. Very good point. Very, very good point. Jules of all trades. Bushy eyebrows has long been an enforcement inside code for Jewish. Hence, I am. So that's what Dylan said. You know, I got you, Laurel. Absolutely. Absolutely. Even with the timeline moving up an hour, the girls were up. They'd have gotten off their calling jack spree like right before this. That's a fact. Very good point, Miss Jules. Molly says, right as the police officer's phone buzzes, as if that was somebody either messaging him saying, okay, do this or do that. Maybe. Is that what you're saying, Molly? Very good point. 3:12. And look at him. That's interesting. He's looking over there. Then he looks over there. There's the vehicle. There's the vehicle again. That's a good point, Molly. 3:14. Interesting, to say the very least. Everything is weird in this case. I think everyone everywhere agrees on that in small amounts, bits and pieces. All right. Let me drop this here, and I want to pull up what Doc sent over real quick here. And again, I appreciate that, Doc, big time. Here we go, folks. I believe so, DC. I do believe so. Annie says, I'm willing to speculate the actual time of death was closer to 3 a.m. and that's why it's never been released, because it doesn't match the timeline. How about that? Suggested by Moscow PD Detective Payne in PCA. That's a very good point. Very good point. By the way, for you guys that have not checked it out, I'm sure most of you guys have, but please, I have mad respect for Doc Thrifty, guys. Go check out his stuff. He's got amazing stuff that he does. Check it out, folks. Seriously, check it out. Mad respect. If we can drop a link in here for that too, please do. Yes, this is publicly released footage. There's a high-pitched noise that's heard. I'm not sure it's a scream, though. Sounds like something. It almost sounds like a squealing tire or something. You're absolutely right. All right, so what we have here is the receipt that Doc Thrifty sent over, folks. 1 second here. Let me blow this up for you guys. Yes. Yeah. That's what he was saying. This is his new channel name. Okay. It's kind of hard to read. Jacob Tesdall and Ann Rosendahl, received by, that's retracted. Let me see here. This is 100%. So this was put in. Involvements, description, relationship, offender. Peter Reagan, Ethan Knight, Taylor Parkhill. 1, 2, 3 of them. So they did record it, guys. It was put in that night. There it is. Thank you very much for that, Doc. That's it right there, bro. That is it, guys. That's what we wanted. And there's their names: Peter Reagan, Ethan Knight, and Taylor Parkhill. I believe that's correct. Alcohol-related citations. 301. Yeah. Okay. Boom. Great info, Doc. Thank you very much for that. It's something I wanted. So one of these guys, Jules is saying, is the one claiming to have gone back and seen BK lookalike. Yeah. Or he was told by one of these guys. You're talking about Dave was told by one of these guys. Or he was with them then, I'm guessing, right? How ironic if the one told Dave that was the Ethan guy. Is the date for alcohol off? Nope, 11/13 at 22. At 3:01, at 3 a.m. and 3:01. So yeah, it all matches. Ethan Knight was Everson, Washington, Julie says. I don't see it. It doesn't give us that info, I'm sure. Dave slipped and said, I saw to Daniel on DTS, so maybe he is one of them. It's possible. That I don't know. That I do not know. Let's see. Doc says, it's my hunch these three guys were on the way back to Caden's frat across the Banfield at Alpha Kappa Lambda. Very, very good possibility, sir. That does make sense. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Tesdall drives the white on the What Did You Tell Adam video. Oh, okay. Yeah. That the Caden that died, I believe that's who he's talking about, Jules. Because he at some point was he was the president of the fraternity, correct? Tell me if I'm wrong. The white truck that we saw in the video. I was told that too. I don't know how true that is, so I don't want to verify that because I can't. Great point though, Doc. I appreciate that. And I definitely appreciate the info. For sure. Yeah, he was. That's what I thought. He was president of the Alpha Kappa Lambda fraternity. Correct. And Doc saying, God, that he thinks that they were headed that way when they were stopped. So, very, very huge possibility. By the way, is there anybody else that would like to jump up here and say your piece or whatever? Again, guys, it's an open panel. 1 to 2 at a time I'd like to have up here. So if anybody does, please jump up here. Please feel free to, I should say. Miss Segal, let me drop that here for you real quick. There you go. You know what? I never did know that, Salty. I never did know that. Alien Dog, I just come back hoping that in the end, not all people that have a theory or suspicion of every illegal activity ever thought about it is wrong. And these people can try to carry on. I absolutely do agree with that one, Alien. I mean, I'm saying, not everyone is guilty. Not everyone is suspicious. when you're working a case like this, folks, everything that we look at is going to catch our eye if it doesn't look normal. Okay. And that's not to say we can't accuse everybody of everything, guys. We can't do that. That's not good. Okay. But at the same time, when you're looking into a case like this, if something is off, we're going to look at it harder. And then it's going to make our mind start working. And in turn, that's where these things come from. Well, hello, Mama Bear. Thank you, Miss Lauren. I appreciate that so very much. Super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you very, very much. I appreciate you. Hello there, Mama Bear. Are you ready to join us? Or are you just jumping in chat to say hi? That's what. I don't know how this is going to work. Let me try and see what happens.
Send a voicemail. Press 2.
All right. You are live with the Dago. What's up, Michelle? How are you?
Oh, bless your heart. You know my voice. I'm okay. I want to catch you because we've been busy, but I watched your replay, so I'm so happy things settled down and I can watch it live. But I was wondering, about this Dave guy. I don't believe he is who he said or whatever, but I recall him, and it stayed in my mind, saying that he talked to some guy, and the guy said, yeah, I was out there that night, and I saw someone looking around for something in the dark, like they were looking for weed or something. And then Dave says, then later the guy says to Dave, oh, it's some creepy looking guy and this and that. And then Dave said later, then the guy said, yeah, it did look like Kohlberger, but Kohlberger was already arrested. So I'm wondering about that guy that told Dave that same night that those boys were stopped, in there that you just showed. And another thing that bothers me is that I don't really trust the police or why they did not hand over the evidence on the sheet is because Officer Blaker in his report slipped up, and is what I think, and he said, oh, or in the report it said that Kohlberger could have thrown the sheet and other evidence into the water. Well, I thought they had the sheet. So they're not in line. They're the cop that wrote about the sheet, and why would Blaker said the sheet was probably thrown in the water by Kohlberger with the other evidence. So where did the sheet even come from? It makes me think that's made up because they're not on the same, the same information about the sheet.
The same PCA, right.
And then,
okay.
Yeah, and that still troubles me, and it troubles me about this Dave guy that through Kim that got him to talk, that said that about those. It probably was those in my mind now.
Thanks, Doc.
And those 3 boys.
Okay.
That maybe one of them said, "Oh, I saw some creepy guy that night probably going back looking for something, And then said that the guy told Dave, "Well, I saw somebody in black leaning over like a girl or something." And I think that was fake because I think the person that told Dave was the one out there digging for something, and then after Kohlberger's arrested, say, "Oh, that creepy guy," and he says, "I think that was Kohlberger."
Right.
Kohlberger was already arrested. How else would this kid know his name?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and the other thing, and then I'll let you go, is when those three boys were out there, I found it very weird that that boy with the white hat, after standing there, takes that white hat off and shakes it behind him, and then brings it around and shakes it in the front and rubs his hair. And I'm thinking, what did he have hidden in there? Drugs or what? That was really strange to me.
Yeah, that I agree. That was different.
Huh?
I agree. That was different.
Yeah. So, well, how you been?
I'm doing just fine, ma'am. Thank you so very much. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks.
That's awesome.
But can I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think about Blake putting that? Is it Blake or Blaker putting that in his report that he probably threw the sheet in the water with other evidence, but then in some other cop's report, I don't know if it was Payne's or whose, says that the sheet was found on the second walk around, and that they got this DNA and all this stuff.
I don't remember hearing anything about anything being thrown in the water.
No, I know you don't like to know about other people's chatter, but JLR showed the or whatever, is it called an affidavit?
Oh, the affidavit, yeah. Right. No, I don't mind other people's channels being mentioned in here. That's okay. You're fine.
No, but what I'm saying, I mean, I don't know if it's been elsewhere, but I found that very, very odd, and I wanted to share that because why would it be thrown in the water when they already said they had the sheet?
So JLR said that
seems to me like a lie.
Right.
And they wouldn't hand that over to the defense.
Yeah, I want to find that now. You said that was in Blaker's report, or was that?
Yeah, if you can get that, it'll blow everybody's mind.
Yeah, I would love to find that. I never saw that. Where did you find that at?
I don't watch JLR much, but I happened to click on it, and I was watching it, and he thought that was odd, but he still thinks Koberger's guilty. But anyway, he had it pulled up and showed it, and he thought that was odd that Blaker would say, oh, in his report that Koberger probably threw the sheet in the water with the rest of the evidence. And I saw it. It was dated some date, and it was on Blaker's report.
And it said
that hit me odd because, and I'm thinking, okay, they said whoever, I don't know who in their report on the second round said, oh, did you notice that sheet? Well, how could they have a sheet? I think that's a lie because Blaker already had said, oh, Koberger probably threw the sheets in the water along with other evidence.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, oh my God, that's why they wanted to, and they won't show the ancestor, all that type of blood. They won't hand any of that over to defense. Nothing about the sheet, nothing about the labs, because it makes me think that Blaker's telling the truth that, they felt he knew something about the sheets, but said, oh, Koberger probably threw it in the water with the rest of the evidence. But on the other cop's report says that the cops say they had the sheet and they had the DNA tested, and it went back to Koberger's father.
Okay. Right. So what video did you see that on, Michelle? How long ago was that video from?
Oh God, about a week ago. It was JLR. I don't even know his name. I don't watch him much because I don't really care for him, but he says Koberger's guilty. I believe you're innocent until proven guilty, but it's JLR.
Okay, do you remember what the title of the video?
He's on like for 5 minutes or so.
Oh, yeah.
And that would have been about 2 weeks ago. And
Do you remember the title of the video by chance?
I can look it up and call you back.
Yeah, that's fine. Or you could type it in the chat, whatever's easiest for you. Because I would.
Okay, but I want to
All right, so I'm outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Oh, yeah, I will, because I'd like you to bring that up, and because to me, that makes no sense.
Okay.
It's like, and then I want to know, why did these cops go to parties in khaki pants?
Right.
What, you know, are they involved with the drug dealing? So, you know, I mean, I don't know. But if you're a cop, aren't you supposed to not go to those college parties in khaki so nobody knows? And people knew they were cops that day. Say, oh yeah, they come in with their khaki pants on. But if you notice, when they're stopping people, they're in the dark blue or black when they're on duty.
When they're wearing their uniforms, right? No, absolutely. So they were basically in plain clothes when they were going to the parties, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what that Dave guy said on Drunk Turkey. Now today, Drunk Turkey said he's kind of leaning the other way now. He's just not so sure Koberger is guilty.
And right.
Dave guy told him that, oh yeah, they come in khaki pants to the parties, you know, the cops.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're like normal looking people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand.
Who the cops are, evidently, because he said they come in their khaki pants and are at the party.
Right.
They're not out to arrest anyone then.
Right.
Or, you know.
No, I understand completely. Okay. I think I have something that might have that report in it. I'm going to go ahead and try to pull that up and see if I can find that there. That's interesting, though.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that caller, I don't know if he ever gave his last name to anyone, but I think he's suspicious, because he said, well, if you go to jail, does anybody touch you? You know, it could be like, you know, a setup, because he's the one that also said, well, his friend told him that there was a creepy guy the night that those three boys were in there. It was
Okay.
the same date.
Gotcha.
That's all not adding up to me now. And
Right.
The defense should have got that about the sheet, the DNA, but they hurried up and they made it go to grand jury.
Right.
So,
right.
And I think that it's not right, the people that live there. And when I was called on a grand jury, you cannot watch media, you cannot read the newspaper, you cannot talk to other people about it. It's a law anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So all these people know all this, you know, or gossip about it. They don't really have backs, these grand jurors. And I don't think that's a fair trial. I think it should be moved
right
somewhere else or bring other people in, because if he is innocent, then he's screwed, because they already in their mind got him guilty.
Right. No, I agree. I agree.
And I think they were afraid for the defense to talk to Bethany Funk, so they just jumped the gun and go into that
right.
jury.
Right.
And they don't hand over. They hand over, what they say, 100,000 papers or something.
Yeah.
Or 10,000.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's a whole lot for sure.
After the grand jury, but they don't have any of that other stuff in there. The DNA and the sheets, nothing.
Right. Exactly.
So.
All right, Michelle. All right. Well, thank you very.
I will text you. I'll look right now, and then I'll be back on
yeah.
date and what time KL.
Absolutely.
That, okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'm looking too. So thank you very much for calling in.
You're welcome.
All right, my dear.
Care.
You too.
I hope you're doing up with your poor puppy. So.
Oh, I definitely am, and thank you so much for that.
Well, you're welcome. I've been praying for you.
Thank you so much.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, hon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Later.
All right. Thank you, Michelle, for calling in. I appreciate that. We're looking. Thank you, Molly. I got that. Jules went through and looked already and doesn't see it. So someone called JLR and told him this is what I'm guessing. I'm looking right now at the video, guys, and I don't see it either. Anything about water at all. And what he's pointing at, he's saying it's under the statement of Blaker, Exhibit A. As we here, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. It's not, I don't see that. If that was the fact, that really would have blown my mind. I'll be honest with you. Look. Okay. This is what he's talking about right there in that part of it. And it's not there. I'm not sure, but 9 of 30. Yeah, I don't get what the hell he's talking about. All those in his driver's license. Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see it there. I don't know. Probably, Mandy. You're absolutely right. That's okay. There's nothing in there that I can see either. I don't know. I've heard that too, Jules. That's why I don't really give too much thought to it. So anyway. Oh, well. I'll go back later on and dig through it myself just to make sure there's nothing in there that's either some kind of misinformation or whatever. I don't know. That's just weird to me. Can't be doing that kind of stuff if he is. That's wrong. It drowned in the 60. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Interesting. I don't know, but thank you so much for calling in, Michelle. We appreciate you very, very much. And again, just to show this real quick here, there is that vehicle one more time. Clear as day. And it's silver, folks. Definitely silver. All right. Yeah, right, Sophie, exactly. Let me check something, guys. All right, let's see here. By the way, we got 15 new members. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for that and welcome. I'm looking right now, Annie. I'm sorry. Trying to catch up with all of it. 1 second here. 1 second. And again, Doc, thanks for your info. I appreciate that so very much. Annie. Hold on. Wait a minute. Are you asking about the... There it is. I did get it, dear. Let me see here. The one about the body cams, is that what you're talking about, Annie? I received that one about it will now require federal officers to wear body cameras. Is that what you were talking about? Or were you talking about the other one we were talking about? And yeah, I did get that, Annie. I did receive that 100%. Thank you for that. Right there it is, folks. Boom. Justice Department says it will now require federal officers to wear body cameras. Yeah, that's it. Federal agents will now be required to wear body cameras when executing search warrants or making pre-planned arrests, according to a new policy outlined Monday by Justice Department's second highest ranking official. Interesting. Although department's law enforcement codes do not regular conduct. Yeah. Interesting. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's something that should be done regardless, guys. If you're executing a search warrant, come on. When was this dated for? June 8th of 2021. How about that? How about that? So guess what? Federal officers. What does that mean, guys? This is dated from June of 2021, which means it's been a Department of Justice requirement from 2021. Why were they not wearing them? Well, guess what? The defense has something there to play on, for sure. What you got going, Doc? There is a clue in the Banfield body cam I want to show you that most people miss. Please do, sir. Please do. I would love to see it. Love to see it. Well, here's the thing, Mojo. If they wore them, they weren't on. And if they're not, there doesn't seem to be any footage. Yeah, let me know where to go or what to do with that, Doc. I'd love to see it. I really would. This is obviously, if the FBI is involved, then they should have had him on. That's from almost 4 years ago. So, or 3 years ago. I mean, so what's the deal? That alone should be something that should flatline the case, in my opinion. If there's zero footage of that, then that's just it. That's insane, folks. It's insulting to each of us to imply that there were no body cams. Very true. It also means Ann Taylor can request all FBI body cams. She very well should. Did you get my video of the vehicle driving past the students? It matches Kane Francis' surveillance timeline. I don't know. 1 second, folks. Let me try this. Hello? Goodbye. Case dismissed. Kind of my point, Mojo. Kind of my point. There should be a venue change anyway. Yeah, what did you send me something, Doc, on that cam? Is that what you were talking about, or is there a place you want me to go to on the body cam footage? Thank you for that, Annie. I appreciate that. That's a very important thing right now, folks. She doesn't have to get them from prosecution. She can go straight to the FBI. That's right. Why are they not being, like, she should know. That should already be pre-requested, in my opinion, if that was all talked about. That's my thought. Let me see something here. Michigan. 1 second here. I'm pulling it up right now to see if I can get it. Bear with me, guys. I appreciate your guys' patience with me. This is a lot to do as we do this. I'm working on it. What's it titled under, Michigan? I brought that up and it doesn't come up that way. Oh, wait a minute. I spelled it wrong. Sorry. I can't seem to find it. Right, Brian. I might have to come in here on a Saturday tomorrow. I might have to come in the office on a Saturday, guys, and do some more on this and continue the open discussion. I can't do it, Carolyn. I struggle with it. I really do. But thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, yes, thank you. Just like Mama Bear says, thank you for your patience, guys. It's one person. It's kind of rough to do this stuff. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I'm trying to keep up with everybody, too. That's the other thing. That way everybody gets their respect. Hello, Miss Gina. Thank you, no chains. I'm trying to see what. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you so much for that. Tom, Ara, Tamara. There we go. I remember a white car passing by behind the house and stood still for a while. Reporter in front of the house. Car behind the reporter. The white launcher was not yet named at that moment. Good point. Very good point. There you go. The title is White Car. Okay. Thank you, Michelle. 1 second here. If I could spell. How about that one, guys? Need to go back to school. I found it. I'm not going to say your name out loud. I see what we're talking about here. Thank you, Michelle. This is what she's asking me to share, everyone. What's up, Sarge? Good to have you here. I could only have 2 billion hours of HD film and not 1 second of it will show who's driving. That's right. Yes, yes. Okay. All right, now. So we're talking about this car here that was passing by. Is that time at that point? Is that what you're talking about, Michelle? I have no doubts FBI had on their body cams. Prosecution never asked for them, though. Defense should have. Defense definitely should have. Is Paladin still in here? Where is Paladin? Why am I not seeing him? There he is. Is it Banfield or Band? It's Bandfield. Right. No, it's not someone's last name. It's the Bandfield where the band performs, like the marching band would practice there and stuff like that. Bandfield. Right. Is it the same car as later in the vehicle? I think it might be, Molly, to be honest with you. And then we had the truck that went by, too. Caught between 2:45 and 3:15 a.m. on Taylor Avenue. Officer cam. Okay, 2:58. It definitely looks like. Either way, whatever you call it what you call it. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, George. I see what you're talking about, Jules. Yeah. Right there. Okay. Yeah, the Tale of Two Elantras. Right. I remember that one. Okay, but this car. Wait a minute here. Let's hear this here real quick.
The car in question, and this is a 2013 Hyundai Elantra. And so I go ahead and try to match it up there.
We did this a long time ago, guys. The car that goes by is not an Elantra. We figured that out based on the headlights and the taillights and the shape of the car. It's not an Elantra, first off. We did this months ago. I did a whole thing on this, okay? And then we overlapped them, same way that they're doing here. It's definitely not the Elantra. Not at all. I promise you that. Okay? We spent a whole episode on, like, superimposing it and matching it up. It's definitely not. That's a good point, my friend Paladin. Good to have you back in here, by the way. At this point, the only evidence they really have is bushy eyebrows, which explains the secret indictment. That's why they did it, guys. In my opinion, that's why they did it. Yeah, it could have been one of many cars. That's absolutely correct. And I said that too, Alyssa. When I went back and I went through a whole slew of cars, it doesn't match up to the Elantra. It's too small. The Elantra is a bigger car. Okay, and if you look at this vehicle, that's not an Elantra. It looked like a Dodge Neon in some senses too, or something else, you know? And it's definitely not in that good a shape. That's what I had said. Based on the headlights are round like a Neon's is right here. See that? These are more sleeker and longer, so that's definitely not the Elantra. I knew that much. Now, I'm not saying that this car did not pass by multiple times, and it's definitely not a lighter colored car. It's like gray or silver, or dark gray or silver or something. Yep, that's right, Friday. The windshield angle is wrong and everything. If you look at the slope to the back of the car, like look at on the Elantra, it comes down from the roof, and it comes down. This comes down from the roof and drops, and that's the back end of the car. Like, there's no way. Completely different vehicles, folks. But, I mean, that's what we do this for. We look at that stuff to figure it out. That's what I said, Annie. We went back, and I found an accent. Okay? A Hyundai accent. I pronounced the car wrong. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. I've never been one for that one. Let me show you something real quick, guys. Okay, hold on a second here. Are they going to show it to me or not? We have to go through all this crap. One second here.
Well, no. First it was
Okay, that's a hybrid. That's a Santa Fe. Definitely not that. It's not an SUV. It's a car. Okay.
Absolutely, yes. Because as you can see on my account, I'm sure it tells you that we're all active. What kind of phone did Caden have?
An old Santa Cruz. It's definitely none of these. Okay, it's not an SUV. It's not a truck. It's a small vehicle. I clicked on the wrong thing. That's why. I'm sorry, guys. That's my fault. Hold on a minute. Sedans. There we go. Now, these are the 2003s. But I'm just saying, like, you see that these are longer. Yeah, that's probably not it. That's not it. It's an Elantra. These are the newer ones. So definitely not it. Anyway, it does look like a Dodge Neon to me, folks. It absolutely does. It's got those rounded headlights. You know what I'm saying? One second, guys. See how the headlights are? That's not a car. Zoom in. I sent my video of my comparison. Sleuthy made a detailed copy of timeline report. She has it. They definitely contradict. Just for the T, that's correct. It's not a Neon. I used to own one. My daughter had one too, and it matches exactly. It's a Neon. That's what I said. Same thing I said, Janine. My daughter had one. That's why I know. It looks just like a Dodge Neon or an RXT or whatever the hell those were. The only thing that might throw it off to me is the back door. If there's a back, like a 4-door thing, 4-door vehicle, that's what do it. Neons had very, very specific headlights. They look like bug eyes. They're round. Just saying. That's my thought. You guys are great, by the way. But there's that. Thank you for that so very much. All right, guys. Yeah, I think I need to bring this down for today, folks. Now, here's the deal. Monday, I will be back, of course. Okay. I might be here tomorrow. If I am, I'll be by myself. It's the weekend, so on and so forth. I might be here tomorrow, guys. Same time as always to jump back into this because this is going to be continued. I want to take this and keep doing this. I like the way this went today. I'd like to get more people up here. I want you guys to speak your mind and get your pieces out. And there's too many of you guys in here to be able to do that in one day. So it's either I can't make promises because my son's birthday party is this weekend. He turned 17 and it's important to him. So we're going to do that. But it's not going to be till later in the afternoon. So I might be able to come in. I might come in a little earlier, maybe 11 instead of 12. So I hope you guys are awake. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get in contact with him, Amanda. I've been thinking about it. I like his realm of thinking, and I think it would be fun. I think we'd be great together on here to have a talk together about this. So I'm trying to get in contact with him. So thank you. And thank you guys all so much for being here. Doc, I appreciate your info. Annie, you as well. Jules, always. And guys, if you haven't gone over, show some love to Doc Thrifty's new channel. He deserves it, guys. He puts in the work, and he's great at what he does. That's okay. No worries. Thank you so much, Paula. Guys, please do me a favor. Have a great rest of your Friday. You never know, guys. You might see me on here tonight. I might just surprise everyone and go, hey, here I am. Let's do this again. It is what it is. Hello there, Mother. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate you. So who knows? If I get bored tonight, I might jump out and we might carry this on a little bit more. Either way, you guys do me a favor and have an absolute, yes, thank you, Heather. There is Doc's link, guys. Check him out if you haven't. Show some love. He deserves it. He puts the work in, guys. He does. And I appreciate everything you sent me, Doc. I really do. Mad respect for you, sir. Yeah, there is a big deal going on tonight over at Publicly Buzzed. You guys got to check it out. If you don't have the link, go over there and check it out. Stevie and Dan put on a great show. They're going to have Jay on over there tonight, and it's going to be fun. They're celebrating their 5,000K, and it should be a good time. So go check them out. Absolutely. Thanks again, Doc. Appreciate you. Guys, I hope you have a great, great rest of your day. Don't forget to love yourselves and to love each other. Thank you so very much, Mother. I love you too. And I will see you guys on the other side. Moderators, great job. See you soon. Bye-bye.